believe it.
That was one of my favorite Maggie May Fish videos because it was like I actually agreed with some of her stuff because she wasn't wrong. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But
yeah,
it was like she just derived back into Maggie May land where logic and reason and accountability and references are just thrown out the door.
Yeah.
As the lovely German saying goes, even a blind chicken finds a corn from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, she made a 30-minute review, and I think we got about 10 minutes in before it just went batshit insane. And we stopped all about saving Christmas and went on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what we went on.
I
didn't know what her point was.
I still love that background with the fireplace. Oh my god, that was that was just
the card that she failed to rip up.
Yeah, well, she's a girl. We'll leave her alone. That's fine. Let's go on to today's Smudcast number 146. Good afternoon, everyone. And we're doing Luke Skywalker. Is he out of character? And of course, the title says nope. And then we have a pipe. Star Wars analysis. This is by good old ATAT-Chan. Oh, good old. It's been a while. We've covered an ATAT-Chan video. He's a classic on the Smudcast. He does so many great videos. We love covering them.
He tried to cancel us multiple times.
Oh, he loves reporting about us. He loves talking. It's great. We love all the interactions, as crazy as they might be. What a great guy. What a great family man. We love.
He will never block me. He'll never block me on Twitter, which is hilarious.
Oh,
why?
Do you want to get blocked? We'll make that happen for you. It's no problem. We can get that.
Oh yeah, that's why I've jumped on. That's why I've jumped on as well. Block me, you coward.
Oh yeah. Jeez. Oh boy. So someone's saying, did you see Mahler's Twitter about Wisecrack? No. Today was pretty much Star Wars and RIan Johnson Day because today is the anniversary of The Last Jedi from 3 years ago. So
thank God I don't have Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's a fun place. Lots of fanboys gushing about the cinematography and this or that. I think there was only one or two.
All the arcs.
Yeah, well, there was only the arcs. That was funny. There was only one or two railers I saw, and only one of them was like adult with like adult imagery and whatever porn they were showing. I don't know why they want to do that on Twitter, but they do. So yeah, that's Twitter for you. But no, I don't know what's going on with Wisecrack. What did Wisecrack say? Does anyone know?
Was it concerning the recent EFAP?
Oh, they talked about EFAP.
No, they talked about Wisecrack on an EFAP.
Oh.
Oh, right.
With Count Dankula was on, talking about the Wisecrack video concern.
Oh.
No, that was another one. Sorry, it was. It was with It's a Gundam.
Them covering the video that we covered. Did Disney ruin?
Yeah, exactly. That one. They had Gundam as a guest for that one.
Oh,
I mixed it up with another one.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Cool. I'll watch it later. All right.
Yeah.
What is this? The meme repository. Sorry, Smud. Voice on the radio is taking over the channel. Absorbed into his Radilective. First the Smudcast, next EFAP. Viva la radio. What? What is going on? Voice is currently in the chat
what are you
with
on
us.
about?
Message coming in.
Yeah,
I know he's currently streaming. I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
Oh, he's streaming right now?
He's playing Pokeball.
He was streaming.
Yeah.
I think the stream accidentally got shut down because he lost internet.
Oh.
And then I left to come here, and he kicked me out of the group to add someone else in.
Okay.
Oh, that's Franson streaming, isn't it? Or is it?
I don't know.
No, Franson was streaming you guys while he played Sonic.
Oh. Okay, well, he's in. I thought he was in the chat, but I guess not. Okay, great. Whatever works out for him. You can always message me and jump back in. It's no problem. So I didn't want to step on anyone's toes because I know that yesterday.
Well, if you wanted to hop in, Voice could just hop in because he's in the group.
Yeah,
Message coming
exactly.
in.
So, but I know LitDev was streaming yesterday. I didn't want to stream when he was streaming, so that sort of thing. But if he is streaming, I do apologize. I didn't want to take up his time and his audience and what have you.
Well, he hasn't popped back up yet, so I don't know what's happening.
Okay. Well, Jake, how you doing? I'm at half mast right now. Wow.
Why not full?
Why don't you finish that off there, buddy?
Yeah, get going.
Get that taken care of.
So hyped to see this bundle of sticks get tombstone into oblivion. Yeah, we don't say
massive bully on.
We don't say that about AT-Chan. He brings us endless joy with his ideas of kendo and the scars of Crate is the
Kendo,
scar of kendo.
God, when he said that, I was so angry. I practiced kendo for several years. I was so mad. I was so pissed.
I like how he
Kenjutsu.
I like how he was laughing that we brought
Well,
in an
that's
expert.
actually not entirely wrong.
Well, I remember we brought in an expert. Supposedly, Shiny brought in Shadiversity, and he was laughing that we did that. Oh, you brought in an expert to
You brought
debunk
an
my
expert
happiness.
to debunk my happiness.
No. You brought what was it? A sword guy expert. I was like, what? Is that the best you can describe? What?
Yes.
Oh dear.
So we
That's
love.
what I actually called him. I called him an idiot straight up,
Well, we all
and that's why. Yeah.
maybe not everyone, but I love AT-Chan. He's just adorable, and he's he's a family man. Can't forget that. He's a good father, and he makes amazing Star Wars videos, just like that other guy who's a bit bigger than he is, who also has a helmet for his icon. Not shiny, but
Hello, Greebles.
the Greeble. Yeah, the Greeble.
You can't.
Hello, Sweden.
I just want to say, being a family man doesn't give you like a defensive shield.
It is something, though.
Yes, it
Good
does.
stuff.
It does. It absolutely does. If
it
you are a
doesn't.
dad,
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Well, I disagree.
I am a dad, Gleb.
oh, good. Well, then you're good. Everything I say is wrong compared to you.
Yes.
Oh boy. So let's get started. We got 12 minutes 45 seconds. That's not too bad. We have a second one in case this is not long enough for you guys. And they're all voted on. They tied for votes, but the second one's shorter. I think we might have actually covered it already too on one of those streams where we just had nothing to go on and we just decided. I think Shiny recommended it. But yeah, we're gonna get started.
Right.
Let's get going. Joe Crazy. Oh no, it's the return of AT-Chan. This is definitely one of the top 10 anime boss fights of 2020. Really?
Message coming in.
Okay. I didn't know.
I guess 2020 is really boring.
Yeah. Holy crap. That's a big praise for Mr. AT-Chan. I thought he'd be a nice guy to have some laughs with, maybe have a beer, but no. He's wow. Boss fight. Maybe a mini boss.
Boss fight.
Yeah.
You know, like the meme where it's like the one bar of internet signal goes down and then all of a sudden, like, you turn something else. I think that's AT-AT chat with Hello Greedo because they're both kind of retarded.
Yeah.
It's just that this one is a much smaller, much lower budget version of Hello Greedo.
Okay. Shiny, I would say he's biased. They're both kind of biased.
Bias.
Diet Hello.
No, they are retarded
think-
because they think their bias means something is quality or not.
Oh, you've obviously
That's what
argued.
they say about us, though.
What's our bias, though? What is our bias?
We're super retarded.
Well, that's
then.
just
Hooray.
projection on their part because they just think we do what they do and they just guess what is good and not based on if they enjoyed something or not.
Well,
Yeah.
I find the biggest difference for me personally is that I find AT-AT-Chan more fun to rip into than Greedo. I find Greedo is kind of a bit boring with what he says, which is so predictable.
Yeah,
And
just
AT-AT-Chan
imagine-
goes
imagine
on
it's
telling
what
me
you-
that there are so many cuts, and that makes it great. And I'm like, wow.
Was it 49 cuts or something?
Oh,
Great.
God, I can't
There
remember.
are
remember?
57 cuts in The Last Jedi.
42.
This makes it amazing. Oh no, it was in the fight scene. This
Yeah.
means it's a very good fight scene. It's like, what the fuck kind of measurement is that? How do we
Yeah, that's what-
measure a quality based on how many cuts it has?
It just started
That's like
listening.
saying, that's
but
like saying,
stopped
oh, you know
showing.
about depressed emo girl at school used to know. She had 73 cuts. She's amazing.
Oh,
It's like,
Jesus.
it means nothing.
Oh, dear.
Like, okay, so what about how they use the cuts? Oh, because you can also have
Yeah.
scenes which use very little cuts, and it's actually much better. Not only is it much harder to produce, it makes it look
Yeah.
more cinematic. Also depends on
agree.
the context of what the scene is.
I agree.
Yeah.
Cutting is cool, kids.
Yes, slice
Cut-
and dice,
cut-
brothers. Slice and dice.
Cut in school. Cut in school.
Cut yourself. cut yourself.
We learned so much from that fight scene. Like, you stab your sword into the ground, your enemies will attack it. It's amazing. It just, all these tactics.
I need to try that trick next
but
time.
some like sometimes in films when do too many cuts, it starts making no sense. And there's some really bad cuts that so cuts have to be done properly, not just a number.
I mean, you can have no cuts in an amazing fight scene. You just have to have good choreography.
Yeah, that's what they did in Hong Kong
it's kind
cinema.
of like the cuts in this food analogy is like the plate it's serving on, and the actual content which is supposed to fulfill you. Like the actual food is the fight scene itself. What's actually happening? What we don't care about the plate it's being served on. We care about the actual substance.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of us like numbers, Shiny. Some of us like, quantity as opposed to
I
quality.
mean, as long as the plate is functional.
Yeah, but Smudge, there's people who like quantity over quality, and then there's idiots.
Well, I think as long as you get a good amount of quality in there, I think instead of making something better, it's kind of like analogy of you can make a big wide ocean, or you can make it deep. So it's like depth and size, if that makes sense. So I'm fine with someone making something bigger as long as it still has some kind of substance of quality. But if you make an ocean that's only a puddle deep, then I'm sorry, it's shit.
Nothing. Well, take a look at what was it, the church scene in Kingsman. Everyone always says that's got no cuts, but there's quite clear cuts. That's done well. And no one counts the number of cuts in the church scene to say, well, this has got 43 cuts in it, so this is a good thing. And go, no, this works well because of how it's all put together. If you've got to start counting the number of cuts in a scene, then obviously what's happening on screen isn't that good.
But he doesn't even talk about the choreography, and I got really guilty that I got Shadiversity to come on that stream. Because I was expecting to actually talk about choreography, and I know Shad had done, I think, 2 videos on the fights in TLJ.
Yeah,
I really wasted this favor.
But
I had this favor, and I wasted it. No, because it was a complete waste of time for his talents.
No, it was. Talk a bit about it.
As long as people are getting entertained, then it's all right.
Yeah, that's true. I was entertained watching it, so...
Yeah.
But it's kind of something which would be much better spent on something which was a bit more of substance. Saying, oh, this fight scene is amazing. Look at how Rey deflects this thing here and then kicks 3 people with 1 kick. And then Shadow would be like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, this is insane. Or something like that. So just in more Australian.
Oh, we lost... Oh, there he is. He's back. All right, let's get started.
Yeah, hold on. You're
good?
For some reason I just got kicked out of everything.
Even your house?
Yeah.
Even my cell phone contract.
I'm here in the middle of an English channel, being kicked out of everything.
You're streaming on your digital signal. It's like, nope, no more Wi-Fi.
Time to move to Sealand.
Yeah.
New Sealand.
All right, everyone's in the watch together. We're good.
Oh, yeah, I'm in the watch together.
Okay, let's get going.
Is Star Wars actually good? Well, no, since scientific expert
It's
Tony
been a long time
Bloblo.
since I've talked about Luke Skywalker and why I found his
I doubt
characterization in The Last Jedi to be compelling and arguably the best aspect.
Didn't you
of the
send out a
sequel
tweet
trilogy.
like last
This
week or
video
something,
is not to
AT-AT
start
chat?
another argument, but for me to explain why I thought Luke's arc was
day.
brilliant. And it's fine.
Hey, voice, you're back.
It's me, the voice, the person with the worst internet ever.
No, that would be Sarcastic Hawk. He has the worst.
Yes.
It's honestly
4 hamsters
dreadful.
running in a wheel.
It's not even 4. I swear like 3 of them are killed over at this point.
I don't know. I've experienced probably much worse internet in the middle of America and nowhere.
Yes.
Just far from anyone.
I'm imagining Voice's hamsters just having like a coffee break for like 6 hours.
Interestingly enough, we do have a hamster on the screen.
If someone does like a bisection, like the old Star Wars books where they'd open up like the side of an AT-AT so you could see everything inside, I'd like to imagine if someone did that to me, it'd just be a hamster wheel with like some dead some hamsters on coffee break.
And I just imagine voice uses dial-up still. It fits the aesthetic of everything being
Probably.
away.
Yeah, 56K. Those were the days.
Mom, get off the phone! I'm going on the internet.
Playing Pokemon.
I mean, you say that, but I went downstairs to go talk to a roommate. I was like, damn, the internet is terrible. And do you know what she said to me? It's like, yeah, it's when everyone gets on the internet on this street at the same time, none of it works. It's like, what the fuck?
It's because they need to add more. They need to add another node.
If everyone on the street that my radio head resides in, if everyone on the street is using internet at the same time, the internet goes down apparently.
Wow.
It's like it just can't handle the
That's good design.
Yep.
Yeah.
It can't handle the demand.
That's why you need to go around and start like intimidating your neighbors and like being like, "Hey, get off the internet at this time, or else
I'm gonna be streaming.
something good will happen."
So just so you guys don't know, we have a disclaimer on the screen there. So in case you disagree with
Feel
Chan,
free to it.
it's okay. You can do that because he lets you do that.
Is it?
As long as you don't tell him that you disagree.
It says feel
Yeah.
free to disagree right there.
Yeah. So he's being very nice.
And then even smaller letters, it says, "Far, far, far away from me, you fucking idiots."
Ah.
Yeah, exactly. It says you're not a real Star Wars fan. You don't like everything. You have an opinion. You're not a real
Wait,
fan.
everything Star Wars or everything in general?
You have an
In
opinion
general.
at all that isn't
Okay.
Star Wars, you're not allowed to play baseball with me, okay? I'm a
dare
real
you.
fan.
Damn it.
Hey, listen,
How
I've been
dare
told
you,
that
sir?
I'm not a true Star Wars fan. I've been told on Twitter by people who didn't even know who Boba Fett was. And I said, Boba Fett, then
Boba
Jesus
Fett.
Christ.
No,
Boba Fett.
that's the new version that's on Mandalorian is Boba Fett.
Why did they
That's all
design his armor to be fat? Like why did they do
Well,
that?
I don't think they designed the armor to be fat. I think the actor just got fat.
No, I mean
Got
you can
fat.
design you say, all right, Boba Fett is now fat and we know he's gonna be fat. Let's design something that makes him not look so fat. They didn't
Well,
do
in
that.
the next episode,
No.
they do much better at hiding it. Like the
They
armor
just
actually
wanted
fits
to
much
do-
He
better.
should be wearing like a cloak over his armor or some shit.
They
and
wanted
then it just
to
hides it,
appeal
like
to
a
the
robe.
German demographic because in German, fett means fat.
What they did though,
That's what they do.
Genius.
It's genius.
in the episode in which he
Suck that
returns,
Disney.
And I'm not
starts
joking,
off
the word for
wearing-
fat actually is fett.
He starts off
somebody
wearing
fat.
a cloak though in
Yeah.
that episode.
I know,
Yeah,
I
Shows
know.
up in, and then they take it off him. It's like, why the cloak actually worked?
It's like, wow, you look stunning and brave. Stunning.
Wow,
Truly
you
is
got
Boba
fat.
Fett.
Can you show more of your belly? Oh my goodness.
Next episode, he's belly dancing.
No.
I just keep imagining every time I see him, just hearing like bum 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 bum. He just like walks into a room.
Oh my gosh, this makes Boba Fett cosplay so much easier
Boba
for my
Fett.
fat friends.
Oh dear.
But Boba Fett
I'm
is
not-
now like.
I'm not fat. It's just a glandular problem.
I'm not fat, it's a clone problem.
I'm big boned.
Maybe it's just like a clone thing for them to get really
Hmm.
fat once they reach a certain age, because that happened to like
Rex.
Rex in the Clone Wars.
Wait,
as
how
well.
many?
Yeah, but then
How many
Rex
years-
They're gonna make
retired.
being fat canon.
Just a
They're gonna
question,
make like
Shani.
the process of
I
being
thought we had.
fat
I thought they
canon.
had like a shorter lifespan though. I thought clones had a real short lifespan.
They
Not
do.
Boba.
And so an old fat retired Rex is in Rebels.
Yeah, and I unfortunately saw that. But I thought we weren't supposed to live that long after.
Yeah, that's
something.
why like after 18 years they're like 60 or what or something.
Oh right, okay.
Okay, Joe Crazy.
Yeah,
I just want to be up to date on my clone
It's
knowledge.
the dad bod model. Know your Star Wars lore. Glib.
Oh yeah.
It's better than being built like a literal rectangle like Kylo Ren.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Oh,
If
that's
your
kind
of
body
an
is
interesting
anatomically
looking guy.
incorrect and stretched much further than
Message coming in.
could even be possible,
Patching it through.
you
No
can
offense,
enjoy the
Adam
Kylo
Driver,
Ren
but-
saber.
Love
No,
that dad
no.
bod.
No offense, Adam Driver, but wow, that was like not a lot of effort to look fit. I put quotation marks around it. That just looked horrible, that scene. Ugh.
Well, I think
why did they virtually stretch his body? I don't understand why they did that.
I don't know.
Wait, they did that?
They virtually stretched his body in.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they did that.
I didn't know that.
That's why it's anatomically incorrect.
Yeah.
It's why his head's so fucking small.
It's when you see him in the cloak and the costume and everything. He is not that wide.
No.
He looks normal in his clothing.
Yeah.
He became a wide boy.
Why the fuck did they do that? Because now that I look at it, it looks like
became
a really
extra thick.
It looks like a really cheap meme.
Look at how thin he looks in that.
He
shot.
joined the cogs of war for one scene.
No, but the picture I just sent. Look how thin he is.
Yeah, he's a proper thin boy.
Oh my gosh, such a handsome boy.
No, not really.
Damn, his shoulders to his head proportion looks normal now.
Yeah. I just.
Anyway, let's get back to the video. 'Cause I'm tired of staring at this gerbil for so long. Oh, Mark and 2D. Hey, Mark, aren't you in the chat?
You can never get tired of a porg. Actually, no, you can. That's a lie.
I thought Baba ate the Sarlacc pit monster. I don't know. Someone ate someone there. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh.
What's continuity? I don't know. What is that?
We're not going to get any explanation.
No one's ever really gone.
Oh.
We're not going to get any explanation about how he survived and what he's been doing this entire time.
No.
After we've seen what's happened to Palpatine and he survived, after we've seen with Maul and he survived, I don't know.
Yeah. Heck, the only reason Han Solo's still dead is because Harrison Ford just does not want to do it anymore.
I think the only time you can trust them being dead is when you see them disappear into the Force, but then they'll just come back as Force ghosts.
I swear they'll bring back Harrison Ford's Han Solo in an animated film that takes place between TLJ and TROS, and they'll just have the line. It's like, Han, we thought you died. And then he'll go, well, I've escaped worse situations.
I've died before.
You think people die in Star Wars? What are you, gay?
I think it's hilarious that originally it was supposed to be a Force ghost that came back in Rise of Skywalker, but they realized how shit it was. So Kylo Ren just takes some, I don't know, death sticks, and he has an illusion of talking to his dad in a memory.
I forgive you, me.
I forgive myself for killing my father.
Yeah. Come on, we've all done it. We've all killed our father and forgiven ourselves.
I'm
Such
good
an easy
now.
thing to do.
I'm a good boy now. All right, let's get back to Mr. AT-Chan.
If you disagree with me, no worries. Now, I think the best way to proceed
Don't
with
worry, I
this topic
disagree
and
with you
discuss it all is
almost
to
everything.
talk about the most contentious aspects of Luke's arc in the sequels and break down why they worked for me. And I'd say that most of us
Why they
already know
work
what
for you,
those
'cause
are,
you're a
but for
sad
those who don't,
consumer.
number one, people say Luke would never attempt to strike down
Yes,
Ben
he wouldn't do
Solo.
that.
More precisely, people say this movie turned Luke into an attempted child murderer. And this is a grave misunderstanding of what Luke would do
It did.
in this situation.
It totally did,
Number
bro.
two, Luke
Well,
would
Kylo
never
Ren isn't
leave
a
his
child,
sister
so
and
not
best
child
friend
murder.
high and dry, secluding himself from everyone and cutting himself off from the Force. Number three, RIan Johnson fundamentally misinterpreted what Luke was supposed to do and be up on that island at the end of The Force
Do and
Awakens.
be.
He failed to deliver on some promise that J.J. Abrams had set up. Number four, this film reduced Luke to a milk-drinking hobo. Nothing the entire
that's
movie,
true.
and
Yeah,
then
it's
dies at the end because he ran out of Force juice. Number five,
sucked on them
Luke
titties.
should have physically gone to Crate with his green lightsaber to face down Kylo Ren in a real
And I
duel.
mean, there's no excuse for why he can't.
Well, this is
Yeah, no,
like
there's no excuse.
we're talking about the plot now. So he's like, Luke should have done X, Y, Z. I was like, okay, that's not his character. What about his character?
That's not a character arc. Yeah.
Like, why is that a thing? I don't think that's an argument in regards to what he's talking about. So I think he's just talking about Luke in general. Then
But it would be within his character to do that, then
Yeah.
do the approach that he actually underwent.
Wow, imagine if Luke had gone up against someone who he knew was powerful, and he might not, win for his friends, I mean, he's never done that in any other Star Wars movies.
Well,
I
even
like
if
to
you
think
just
of it the other. I like to think of it the other way, that he doesn't want to show up to face Kylo Ren because it's likely that he will kill him.
Well, think about it this way.
Okay.
Think about this
Well, he
way.
wants to die.
Think about it this way, guys.
yeah, that's what I mean. He wants to. He says it in film. I came here to die. And I'm like,
No. He
why
doesn't
are you
want to
still
face.
alive?
He doesn't want to face Kylo Ren in fear that if Kylo Ren retaliates, he will be forced to kill him, and he can do it easily.
But he already tried to kill him.
Why do you think Kylo Ren? Also, no, why do you think Luke would come to the most unfindable place in the galaxy, leaving behind a map for people to follow him?
Well,
Just wants to die.
Think of it this way: if you went up against your dad, who was Darth Vader, and you won, how the hell would you be scared at any point in time of your nephew?
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen Adam Driver? I'd be scared too.
Adam Driver?
No, I don't
really.
Yeah,
He's
not
so
really.
wise. I mean,
Just send Ray after him.
Ray,
Well,
go.
like Spud says, it means this. It's like
Oh God, he's
it's
too
ridiculous.
wise.
Why
It's
would you?
the critical mass.
Why would you ever beat? Like I said, you beat Darth Vader 1-on-1. You cut Darth Vader's hand off, right? Why would you be frightened of Kylo Ren, a child who?
Let's say you
just
let's say you dislike him. Let's say you hate your nephew. You want to teach him a lesson. You're not going to like be scared of that. But even if you were intimidated, you'd feel obligated. All right, he's my family. I should take care of him. Maybe I hurt him in the past. Whatever. You have multiple reasons to do something heroic, let alone being Luke. So you have all these familial relations that can work to your motivation, but none of those are addressed. None of those are concerned. It's just, I was about to kill him, and then I ran away, and you're like, oh, why? I was scared. I felt ashamed. You're like, really?
Maybe call up Leia and tell her to slap the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, listen,
Yo,
mate,
Leia, slap the shit out of your kid. Yeah.
He's acting up again.
You gotta have a word with your son, mate.
Leia, back of the hand this time. Straight across, just back of the hand.
Leia, Kylo Ren's killing everyone again.
Again.
His motivation is stupid too, because why does he think that Darth Vader wanted shit to go on? Doesn't he know Darth Vader?
What?
Yeah.
But what is he continuing that Darth Vader started?
You know,
it's
wearing black. Wearing black, Shiny. Come on, it's a good motivation.
love
What you stirred.
The entire stuff with Kylo and his obsession with Darth Vader implies that Luke, Leia, and Han never told him what happened.
Yeah.
With Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Like how?
In the Aftermath novel,
it was a long time ago.
In the Aftermath novel, the way he finds out is some senator who finds is like opposed to Leia somehow finds out that her father is Vader. So to publicly just try to get her out of office and ruin her image, they release the facts to the galaxy, and then she gets voted off of the Senate, and then Kylo Ren gets a little bit upset and has a patty because she didn't tell him.
Yeah.
Right, so she just got voted off because she's the daughter of him, not because she did anything wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
She got kicked out of the Senate because she was the daughter of Vader.
That's not sensible.
Patching it through.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's what
Look, Chris Chibnall never has done anything wrong. He's
Chuck
a
Wendig?
masterful writer. Oh fuck! I've already fucked up that name.
Yeah.
Chuck Wendig. That's it.
But if you found out that some politician was like the son or grandson of Hitler, I think people would probably do the same and have the same reaction.
I mean, just recently, a guy called Adolf Hitler was voted into office in Namibia.
Yeah,
so
but he wasn't related to.
I know.
I remember that story.
You never know what will happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
So here's a nice little super
Anyway.
chat. 2tim505. Among Us got on Switch before Xbox and PlayStation. Wow, that's...
It came out on Switch today.
Okay.
The reason why that's interesting is because it's very difficult to get on Switch compared to the other two. So.
Oh, is it? Oh, right.
licensing issues, other transferring, because it's a bit lower on the tech. Although you could argue that the tech level of a game like Among Us is very small anyway. So it's,
you can run it on an iPad already.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah, and Switch is running on mobile tech.
You can run Among Us on my phone, which is pretty impressive. It actually works.
Hey, Royce, can you actually play Among Us on your hardware?
On my mobile.
Yes.
On the radio.
I'll have to. Well, I'll have to dig my old phone, my rotary phone, out of the cupboard. Probably.
Okay, I wasn't going that far, but thank you. Okay, that's good. Whew. All right, let's keep going.
Lightsaber duel. Number 6, the final one. Luke's belief that the past should die, aka the Jedi religion, along with him, is anti-Star Wars and a sentiment that Luke Skywalker would never consider. Now, I'm sure there are more issues, but whatever. These seem to be the big ones. So let's unpack number 1, and that's the claim that Luke would never, ever strike down Ben Solo. First, I think just reading that leaves out so much context as to what might push a symbol of hope to consider the unthinkable. We know from The Force Awakens wait a minute. Betrayed by a student who turned out to be Ben Solo, his sister and best friend's son. In The Last Jedi, the full story comes to light that Luke had been sensing moments of darkness during.
Luke is a character, not a symbol of hope. That's not his character. That's just what you consider him. That's stupid to me.
Also, the film never implies that Luke tried anything apart from killing him.
Yeah.
Which makes him seem like an absolute fucking idiot.
He went to confront him, but then looked into his mind, saw he was having a dream about killing people, and he was like, right, okay.
He saw that he was the big gay.
I killed this guy in his sleep now. As opposed to, trying to redeem his father who had actually committed genocide.
A very easy fix would be that.
About doing it. I think about committing genocide.
Kylo Ren was putting pineapple on pizza, and then that would be very justified to kill him.
Yeah. I'm fully behind Luke with that, then. Yeah.
The thing is, he said there's a need for context, and I'm thinking back to how we got context for the scene. The first scene was a half-truth. The next scene was another half-truth of exactly the same story. And then the third scene, we have this full account of what happened. And that's not enough to justify Luke's behavior. It does. Something else happened between episode 6 and episode 8 that we're missing. How did Luke become the way he is? We don't get it.
There's 30 years we're missing.
For him
you can't explain it in 3 little memories, only one of which is the actual truth.
Of one night.
Yeah, they could have done a little bit more backstory on why Luke's behaving this way, aside from a feeling of shame because of wanting to kill his nephew. That's not an impetus for something. That's after the fact. So what causes this transformation of this Luke? We don't get it. I don't see why this is so hard to grasp, because nothing is there. You can't argue time skip, therefore...
No, Smud. It's been 30 years. People change.
Oh, yeah, that's the argument, yeah. Therefore, Luke is a different character. It's like, what? No.
Yeah.
I could look at...
No, he's old. You don't understand. He's old, and that makes him pathetic.
I could look at friends from 30 years ago and go, yeah, you're exactly the same guy as I remember. It's kind of funny how life works that way. Yes, there are people who are different, but in most cases, it's like 60% of you are exactly the same as I remember you. We were playing basketball together.
Yeah. It's just the fact that you're a bit older now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just... Oh, there's a bit more grey hair. That's
grey hair, a bit more scars, a little bit more muscle. Yeah, pretty much.
Just like last time when we met, you trying to kill me now. Wonderful memories.
Yes. Remember that last time I was dreaming about genocide? Yeah, good time.
When he went to confront him about it, it was more frightening than he could have ever imagined. Unfortunately, it does take Luke a few times to admit the entire truth of this altercation. When Luke mentioned that he confronted Ben, in reality, Luke looked into Ben's mind while Ben was sleeping. And that frightening vision made Luke so fearful that he ignited his lightsaber on instinct to protect the light and those that he loves from darkness, but immediately realized his...
This is, again, another interesting idea because he's doing things, a violent action on instinct, when this is something that the Jedi teach, something to base your feelings off. But they also teach peaceful nature and peaceful behavior. So if they're trying to focus your instinct to think along with the Force, it wouldn't be a violent reaction. They'd be like, oh, I should chill out for a moment because this is leading to violence. That would be the opposite of what the Jedi would teach. So this is where I'm really confused. If this argument is he's doing things on instinct,
Message
it's like,
coming in.
yes, he's trained his instincts for dozens of years. He's been doing this.
Also, he's not exactly doing it on instinct. You know, instinct, like say if something jumps out at you and you punch it, that's instinct. But he's very obviously here holding out his lightsaber, turning it on, and then he's about to raise it. That's a lot of thought there. That's not instinct.
Right.
Also, I think the way he phrases everything is just such an extreme overinterpretation because a lot of that is not really that clear in the film. If I remember correctly, it's not even shown that he looks into the dream of Kylo. It's just him apparently sensing something.
Yeah. What's this dream that
extremely unclear?
I've never seen this dream that Kylo's supposedly having. I just thought, like what Philosopher thought, it was just he sensed darkness around him, not that he saw a dream.
Yeah.
Well, he saw in his... I think the exact line says he saw darkness in the future and the pain he would cause.
Is that in the film?
So not a dream then.
No, he had a vision of the pain and suffering which Kylo would cause.
Right.
So here's Joe Crazy again. Luke, should I harm my nephew or talk to him in the morning? Flips coin. Well, kid, it's your unlucky day. Yeah, no, this is... think of it like an instinct to draw a weapon and cock a gun. That's pretty much what's going on here when you have a lightsaber. You pull out your lightsaber, you ignite it, you raise it. Like that's... You're going through some steps there. Instinct is like, whoa, like shock. And you react physically.
It's very fast, instinct is as well.
Yes.
It's very,
I
very
would like
fast.
to ask, what kind of instinct is it that makes you want to draw your weapon when you see the possible vision of darkness in someone you love? I would never draw my weapon. I would first be taken aback and then try something different. I wouldn't just immediately pull my weapon.
We're talking about someone who's like learned to hone these kind of feelings for the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Here's another problem. We don't see what sort of training Luke does with all these kids in the 30 years.
He's a murderer.
Of, like,
he's an assassin, a master assassin. That's what he's trained to do.
Yeah. No, but as in, like, you know...
It's the Officio Assassinorum.
Oh.
Yeah, but it just seems very... So... I hate this scene. I hate this movie.
Yeah, it's
a
pretty bad scene, yeah.
Luke is the master of assassins.
Yeah, exactly. Why else would he have a reaction like this?
Why do you have a pointy stick? Come on. If he's not a master of assassin.
Here's two Tim.
Why do you have a laser sword?
Watch rewriting the entire Star Wars prequel trilogy by Cardinal West. It's great. It's the same story, just better, but no Jar Jar. So 0 out of 10. What? What are you recommending us to watch?
Oh.
Watch this great thing. It's 0 out of 10. Like what?
Well, there's no Jar Jar, so it's 0 out of 10. Well, Shiny would give it 11 out of 10 with no Jar Jar.
Oh no! It's a perfect series for Shiny.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of steps to go through with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Fear, just like when Vader taunted Luke about Leia. It's very much so in Luke's nature to react this way. When his friends are in trouble, or he senses trouble and danger, Luke acts without thinking. Now, it is vague regarding
that doesn't make him a Jedi, dude.
But we heard screaming and the crackling of Kylo Ren's blade, so I imagine Luke literally saw the death and destruction of everything.
I just have this image.
Not him.
Jeez, okay.
He didn't do that. It was quite literally under Hux' order, and it was Snoke's Starkiller base.
Yeah. I had this fantastic image of Luke. Whenever he encounters something bad or anything, he just draws his weapon and just immediately wants to kill everything around him.
Do you need me to kill you?
I would imagine, like, how would Luke react? You know when your friend or someone like jumps round the corner and like tries to scare you, and then the funny reaction is like someone accidentally punches them, not realizing what it was, just reacting to danger. Imagine that someone says surprise, happy birthday, and all of a sudden,
I was about to say, a surprise birthday
lightsaber and starts cutting off people. That must be like horrific in like all the younglings, like they've crafted these nice little hats and like celebrations, and then they shout surprise in the temple after Luke's come back from training, and he just starts cutting off heads. And it's not even like one thing; he just keeps doing it over and over again. It's like,
All you see is like one of them in like a sling go over to like a board, and it just goes like days about Luke killing someone by being surprised. Removes it to 0.
He just acts without thinking.
What? You're also assuming that Luke saw all this with the vision. That's stretching it a little bit. It could have been anything that he saw. You don't know what Luke saw. No one knows what Luke saw because it didn't show us.
This is also going back to episode 5, I believe, where he's already gone through the ropes of figuring out his emotions.
I honestly know. By the way, sorry, I know what he saw. Okay, you may have not seen it in the movie, but what he saw was Kylo Ren putting pineapple on pizza, and that was the death knell of the Jedi. So I just couldn't do it. Had to kill him. He had to actually kill him in the most brutal way possible. That's the Jedi way. You know what I mean? That's what Yoda would have done.
Didn't Yoda say that the visions of the future which Luke was seeing, they were only possible futures. They weren't set in stone. So like he saw Han and Leia in danger and possibly dying, and then Yoda says that's only a possibility. You don't know that.
It's really insulting to all of us fans who actually paid attention to what the movie was trying to say, all the positive things about the Force and trying to save people, all the stuff that people think is original about The Last Jedi. I mean, did they miss Return of the Jedi, where he didn't kill his father?
I think the reason why these people miss all this stuff is because, well, we sat around and watched the movies. They just went onto YouTube and typed in Luke being bad with stuff. And then that's about it. That's about as much as they know about the original trilogy.
I just realized what Luke saw. He saw Kylo kissing Rey, and that pissed him off so much. He just had to kill the bugger.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! We're not going to talk about that fucking thing.
Oh, here's Tutim again, 505. I was joking. He took out Jar Jar. It's a great video. I think we got the joke.
Yeah. I think we got
message coming in.
Oh dear.
Thing he loves at the hands of Ben Solo. Now the other aspect to this,
random guy at the start of Force Awakens, he loved
child
him.
Murderer, which is not the case at all, since Ben Solo was 23 years old at the time.
Jesus Christ!
He was 23, so he's like a fully grown adult and stuff. And he can't, and Luke can't be like, "Hey, buddy, what's the matter? You having weird dreams?" Like, just have a conversation.
Have you ever heard of?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Ever heard of uncles thinking of their nephews
he's
as
true.
children?
At least he's not a child murderer. He's still trying to kill someone.
Okay, so it's just an attempted
fine
murderer.
as long as it's not a kid.
Yeah. You know,
I can't believe they used how old it was.
You know how parents think of their kids?
It's perfectly fine to murder someone as long as they're over the age of 18.
Yeah, it's
like
kids. Any adult,
who cares about anyone else?
Any adult who has kids or family members younger than them always see them as children, even if they're older and everyone gets older. It's like, yeah, that's my baby, that's my kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is his uncle.
Yeah.
The uncle who should know better.
My uncle still classes me as a kid, and I'm 26. So
it's the mentality of the man.
He's 23 years old, so he's all right trying to kill somebody.
This is a master Jedi, the guy who should know better how to behave than anyone else in the galaxy because he's so in tune with his emotions.
Yeah.
But nope, he flies off the handle.
Was Kylo and the Knights of Ren, I'm putting these in quotation marks, the first people Luke trained?
No, the Knights of Ren were something else. I don't think they quite explained that. They were envisioned as some Jedi that went rogue with Kylo Ren, but then they were then later described as something else.
Look, what I'm wondering, in 30 years supposedly of building this new Jedi Order, Luke never came across anyone who had
message coming in.
Dark side feelings.
Or they're all dead now.
No, but it wasn't dark side feelings specifically. It was how much. It was like he saw the future of Kylo Ren. Yeah. Why didn't he just look at the future of like any other Jedi and like, all these future Jedi, they die really weirdly, and as a random lightning strike strikes my temple.
He saw a vision of dark side Phil.
No, he kept seeing some random old guy killing them, and then he realized,
oh my god, some crazy old man's gonna break into my temple and kill everybody
with a green lightsaber.
Oh no!
Oh god, he's really old and he's let himself go, and then he realizes it's him, and he's like, oh man.
And he's got a metal hand in it. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh dear, Joe Crazy. Luke saw Swallow and had no other choice.
Yes.
He's a monster.
At the end of the day, I think what AT-AT is saying is, as long as you're over 18, it's perfectly fine for someone to come up while you're sleeping and slice you into pieces. It's perfectly fine.
And slice your throat.
It's fine. He's an adult. It's like, oh, okay, that makes it okay then.
He gets what he fucking deserves.
Oh,
I guess that makes it okay.
You have horrible dreams, you must die.
Yeah. How about another midnight murder, Luke?
Oh, God.
Yo, this guy's having a bad dream.
You are guilty of wrong think. We don't do that here in the Jedi. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
The same age,
Anakin what's that someone
became
the
Vader.
youngling?
If we were to call Luke an attempted child murderer, what do we call ObiWan, who sliced off all of Anakin's remaining limbs when
Didn't kill him. Didn't kill him.
Chad. We call him a Chad.
Yeah.
What kind of argument is this?
Actually trying to kill him?
Yeah, Anakin is literally jumping over him to slice his head off.
Anakin is also a literal child murderer, and he has killed a lot of people, and he's about to kill him. This is self-defense.
No,
self-defense. Luke pulling out a lightsaber and trying to kill Kylo.
It doesn't matter because he can't do anything about it, because in episode 4, Darth Vader has to be Anakin Skywalker, so he has to do something. And so they pull a Batman Begins by him going, "I loved you, Anakin, so I'm just gonna leave you here to die."
Yeah, it's actually kind of fucked when you think about it. It's like, no, please, I'm literally just cooking to death. Kill me. It's like, no,
I can't do that, Anakin.
The Jedi way.
The Jedi way is to let you burn to death. No, what?
Yeah.
Why? That's prequelism.
It's slow, and you could survive. So it's not an absolute.
His lightsaber and he pinches Anakin's lightsaber. He's like, "Are you fucking robbing me now?"
walks up over and takes his wallet.
We don't know you have yet.
You would have thought
it's okay. I'll give it to your son someday.
Yeah, you would have thought that Obi-Wan would have gone and helped him now that he was literally disarmed and dismembered, but nope, he just walks away.
Yes. Nope. Maybe we can talk.
Maybe you can calm down after you're on fire. It's like, no, I hate you. Like, okay.
Wouldn't it have been more interesting if they had the conversation and then it was him trying to talk to him and like talk him down, and then like he's like, "Listen, I don't want to fight you," and then he started to kick Kylo's ass, and then maybe Kylo got his arm cut off by Luke or something, so it got reflected. Yeah. It was thematic or whatever. And
Kylo Ren should have fallen to the dark side before Luke tried to kill him.
Right, of course, but then you
Yeah.
can't have character assassination that way. But if Kylo had like lost an arm, and then you could have all the times in the future where he's looking at his arm and thinking about Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and stuff. And then like, you know, if you want to keep doing that, he could cut off Han Solo's arm, and then when he sees what he's done, that could be the thing. You know what I mean? Because he remember when Han Solo puts his arm on his face. You know, you can keep that metaphor going, but I don't know. You'd have to be an actual, you know, artist or talented, you know, like me. Like I'm just so great.
Also, I think me 14 bottles of the strongest beer I've got could probably write better than what we got in the sequel trilogy.
Sounds good.
But hey ho, I'm going to try that now.
Either way, I find Luke's reaction completely reasonable.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh no! Oh my God!
This explains a hell of a lot. This explains a hell of a lot.
I mean,
Just going to say.
I could understand that you delude yourself enough to make it seem like it's in character, but to just flat out describe it as reasonable, that seems retarded.
Yeah. The fact oh, God.
Yes.
I love Star Trek.
I just want. So he thinks it's perfectly fine just to wander into someone's room while they might be having a bad dream and stab him.
Apparently,
if he was making the argument that force visions or whatever power that Luke has because he's a master now and he could see far into the future and he has all these amazing force abilities, that this vision was so potent, therefore he reacted so strongly. Like, okay.
But then how couldn't he see that this action would cause everything to happen?
Yeah, there would be a series of other things that would happen as well. Like, oh, I have to contemplate on this. Maybe this is a possibility of another thing that could happen. There's all these other things that have to explain that for him to say, okay, my only recourse is to pull my lightsaber out. But that would take.
Yeah, but Smud, they could only afford one set to build. They couldn't build another set to explain Luke's problems. They had the bedroom set, and that was it. They were down to the last $5.
They kept blowing up those huts. Yeah.
Nothing else.
Well, they spent so much money on that fucking space cow before they even started budgeting anything. I'm not kidding. We watched the directors. Was it the director and the Jedi?
Yeah.
And I think there's a line in there that actually says that we spent far too much money on this space cow. And now we actually need to start budgeting what we've done.
You're absolutely joking, mate.
Yeah, they spent far too much money on that thing, and then said, "Oh, wait, we actually have a budget. We've already spent a ton of it on Canto Bight. Oh, fuck."
This is just.
Yeah, you're justifying.
What is this movie?
A murderous
what
intention.
Is this movie?
It's beyond the concept of law, let alone a mens rea. It's just a silly thing to hear from him.
I think they thought they had a blank check. Wait, what? We have a budget? Oh shit!
Wait, we've got $500, but come on, we're meant to do something with it.
We only have like 500 million or billion. Oh, I guess I should stop. Spending billions on nothing.
Does that explain why it is? That probably explains why it's just one incredibly slow space chase with nothing really happening.
Hey there, Mark. It's nice to see you, buddy.
Wow.
Hey, everyone. The fucking point was so stupid I had to come on.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I exactly agree with Shiny. It's in the documentary of that stupid-ass movie that they had no plan for the budget. So they kept spending.
Okay, so they had no plan for the budget, no plan for the script.
Before they even had the script, they were already spending money left, right, and center.
But the worst part is that in the commentary, Ryan mentions that they had plans that instead of just showing this flashback scene, that they would give more context to what was happening at the time between Ren and Luke. But then he said, who cares about that? We only want the climax. So
no one can ever tell me that RIan Johnson cares about Star Wars at all. He does not care about that.
He doesn't understand. No
one can tell me that he even cares about filmmaking. He's just a twat. He's just an absolute twat who, for some reason, keeps getting given scripts just so he can fuck around.
I don't know. I would use a stronger term than that. I would say cunt.
I'm trying to.
You mean the German philosopher?
Manuel Kant? That's the correct pronunciation, actually.
He's a con.
I don't even care that much. Like, my most hate for RIan is less so that he made a shit film, more so that how he reacts to other people's reaction of that film.
Yeah,
I think it's what he did with the film.
No. Generally, if you can sit back and say, okay, I made something and it was awful, I would have so much respect for someone who can look at their work and realize something they have spent so much time and hard work on was extremely flawed. And I'd have respect for him for that. But I do not have respect for people who look at their own work and say, no, it's not flawed. No, you're just not good enough. You're just sexist. You're just sexist that you don't like my work.
Yeah, I mean, I kicked your dog, but I feel bad about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To be honest, I was expecting RIan Johnson to literally say, "Oh, I just wanted lots of speculation from everyone."
No, but if someone accidentally kicked your dog and said sorry for it, it'd be a bit more understandable.
Yeah, but he intentionally did it.
Yeah, but would you prefer him to say, I kicked your dog and I'm not sorry?
Yeah, because then I have a better justification for hating him.
I'd rather not kick my dog, to be honest.
If he kicks my dog, I'm going to kick him in the dog.
Yeah.
All right, it's fine. You just have to let me kick your dog.
Yeah, but I don't have a dog. Well, I guess it's your balls then.
Even. It's like I don't have a dog. It's like, oh dear.
Can I kick your dad?
Can I get you kicked?
How about your son? I'm gonna kick you.
You can kick my nephew who's having nightmares.
Oh, are we talking about violence? I was just talking about Discord. Hey.
Yeah. All right. Edax, Kylo committed a thought crime. Sentence is death. Yeah, I know. That's how it goes in the Jedi world, apparently.
Woke Skywalker.
Judge Skywalker.
Yeah.
It's his nephew. This is the dark side that we're talking about, and it's already almost destroyed the entire galaxy once. Moving on to the next issue people had is the fact that Luke would never leave it.
Yeah, dark side bad, kill it. Okay.
Okay, here's the thing for you. Dark side's really bad. Luke used Force Choke in Return of the Jedi, which some people said was like a dark side power.
Yes,
I may be wrong.
We saw Vader using it.
Well, even then, it's just using the Force. Like, instead of lifting a rock, you're just crushing someone's throat. So it's not exactly a dark side power. More that something is used by the dark side in a specific way.
It's kind of rude.
But,
it's still telekinetic.
But what I'm trying to say is, at that point in time, we'd only seen Vader do that, and like even Luke would probably have only not seen Vader do it, but wouldn't have seen Yoda do it or some stuff like that. So dark side's not always bad. It's just if you fall to the dark side with stuff. Because bear in mind, within the next movie, someone uses Force Lightning and everything's tickety-boo. Everything's perfectly fine.
Ray
it was only because it was a reference to Palpatine.
Oh, Ray accidentally used it.
I think that's insane that someone can accidentally use a Force power.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I still think
I'm just so great and amazing. I can have my hand out there and accidentally just unleash unlimited power.
Yeah, power.
I just leveled up. I chose Force Lightning as a skill.
Yeah.
But my favorite part about that is, as soon as they found out she's alive, it was like, oh, thank God. I'm like, well, was somebody else on that thing?
Yeah, was there some other innocent?
She just killed some random whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh, doesn't matter. I bet there were cis white men. Yeah, perfectly fine.
His sister and friend defend for themselves regarding the First Order and all that. Well, actually, this switch-up is an interesting play on one of Luke's most problematic character issues from the original trilogy, which plays into what
What do you mean interesting play?
Did
you
he
mean
just
the opposite of what his character does?
Did he just argue the exact opposite in the previous scene? How he reacts so strongly to his friends?
Yeah.
How do you just have this little level of self-awareness, like disingenuous hackery?
When AT-AT, when you were born, did like the doctors play American football with you before they gave you to your mum and stuff like that? Because
the doctor took him out. The doctor took him out of the womb, out of the wrapped him in the towel, and then what is it? Is it a boy? Is it a girl? And
no, it's a retard.
The doctor said it's disappointing.
It's you should have. You should have been a boy 9 months ago.
But I would say I think
he's got a little AT-AT. He's got a little helmet on coming out of the womb.
He has a huge bias, and it's just that like he's doing anything he can to excuse the Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The mental gymnastics being used by this bloke.
Well, this is what happens with any fanboy when they have to rationalize what the narrative does not have, and they try to deduce things.
But why?
Make inferences.
Why do people get into this?
Because it happens to everyone. It happens a lot more than you would expect. People enjoy something, so therefore they think it's good. And then they link their enjoyment to the vision of what their idea of what the craft of the film is. So when someone comes along and says the craft of this film isn't very good, then suddenly you get upset and you have to rationalize why you think it's good, rather than accepting that it might be flawed in a few places.
Okay, well, how come whenever someone tells me stuff that I don't like is flawed, I'm like, yeah, it is flawed. I enjoy it, but I can see all the problems with it.
Well, that's because you're not making excuses. It's just a lot of people do. And even people to an extent. There are a lot of people who were hating TLJ, for instance, and they started going, they went into the Mauler Discord and they started shitting all over it and started accusing other people of, rightfully so, saying that your bias is getting in the way. You just don't want to accept that something you like is a bad film, and then they do almost the exact same thing when it comes to The Mandalorian. It's like, oh Jesus, it's good themes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it always gets
like, you make the criticism that having a protagonist completely padded in armor, which is invulnerable to everything, including lightsabers, removes any kind of tension. It's like, but the legends and the thing that and the other. It's like, no, you're not making any kind of defense.
Cortosis. Yeah, but
Cortosis was fucking dumb.
Cinematography, it looks pretty.
You look pretty.
Well done.
Well, maybe it's gonna ricochet back to the Star Destroyer. That's my other theory.
I just don't understand how people get into this fanboy bloody mindset of things.
Well, I just explained to you. People just want to defend what they enjoy is good.
Yeah, but
why he's saying like, why do you enjoy? Why does he enjoy it? Why is he a fan of it?
Again, because you link your idea of enjoyment to craft, that something you enjoy is good, and that's the issue.
Why? What is the enjoyment factor? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
your internal logic supersedes your action. Watch.
Well, there are a lot of people
The Last Jedi is an incredibly boring movie that literally nothing really.
The enjoyment factor comes from Star Wars. A lot of people surprisingly did like The Force Awakens and TLJ when it came out. It was only after people started thinking about it they started to really ruin. Oh, there you go.
I walked out of TLJ. It was that boring. I walked out.
I also hated it when I first watched it, but there are a lot of people who enjoyed it when they first watched it purely.
Well, what did they enjoy? What
Star Wars.
What part of that was Star Wars? What part was it?
TIE fighters.
Was it Luke Skywalker? So it's just but they talk about everything other than that. They don't talk about that.
Yeah.
That's what's confusing. They all talk about how life-changing the emotional story is.
Well,
and
because
they never explain. But it's such a bollocks argument.
Of course, but it's the only argument they can come up with. That's why we get the whole subjectivity shit with a lot of people who have been criticizing films rightfully.
But I wanna know what they really, really enjoyed, and I don't know if it's He's saying
because maybe it's personal stuff that we can't quantify.
I believe that. I definitely believe there's something that's there. I like to speculate. I like to look at somebody's life or their personality. I like to say, hey, this person likes this, they like this, so I understand why they like that. On the other hand, the weird thing to me is that when somebody who likes Star Wars so much, they like something that goes against the previous, and they try and equate the change, the antithetical behavior, for example, of Luke, like we're talking here, is completely against it. And he's trying to argue, no, it's actually the same, while at the same time making statements like it's an interesting play on it, meaning that even though he recognizes there's a difference, he's trying to say, oh, that's interesting. So is there a mandate that it has to be good, like what Shiny is saying, that it because it's Star Wars, it therefore has to be good? Or is there something that is motivating that's not just Star Wars? I want to know what the non-Star Wars aspect of someone liking something like this.
There are probably a lot of people at Disney that get paid a great deal more money than we do in the exact same make.
Yeah. Say that again?
I think it's kind of like the Transformers element, which they get a lot of the enjoyment from. Transformers, you don't think about it. Flashy images, action. Oh, cool CGI.
There's barely any of that in Last Jedi.
The action in Transformers is actually
like the
ship engine. That's flashy.
So
the hyperspace maneuver that's flashy. Yeah. There's plenty of fight scenes. Pretty lame space fight scenes, but if you just turn your brain off and don't think about how Kylo Ren tries through force fields and
I honestly don't think most of the people who defend TLJ have actually watched all of TLJ or even watched it, because they just
I think they have.
The same.
They probably have. Like there are some people who even watch it like 10 or 20 times, and they say like it's the best.
I don't believe them. I don't believe them. I honestly think
I believe them.
People watch this movie is once because they can't remember half the stuff, and then they look.
But
up,
anyone who uses the argument that like they like everything Star Wars, I would force them to watch the holiday special.
Yeah.
And tell me, like, it's Star Wars. Like, do you like it? Do you like the masturbation scene?
I think it's very. I think I've made the analogy before. Like, I don't know, if I put a Star Wars sticker on a piece of shit, I'm pretty sure there are people out there that would buy that just because it has Star Wars on it. Like, there was no legitimate reason to like it other than it has the name.
But we have like the problem right now that like Star Wars toys don't even sell ananymore ever since TLJ.
I don't see why.
Because it's losing the magic and like the name. What's the word?
Because of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
This movie completely destroyed the entire Star Wars franchise. No, I'm not.
Can you guys stop talking over each other or shut the fuck up? Thanks.
Sorry, Glib.
Go ahead.
The way you go into the sequels, it's very well. At least for a lot of people, it's again you go in there and then you watch it. So a lot of people end up liking it, and then it's only after they start thinking about it they start to realize it's shit. And it's happened with all three films. I knew someone personally who walked into Force Awakens, loved it, hated it after they actually thought about it, went into TLJ, watched it, loved it. After a while, they thought about it, they hated it. Same situation with Rise of Skywalker. And then I think that's happened on a much larger scale than this one person I knew personally. That a lot of people have gone out there, watched these films, thought about it, and then realized how shit it was. But then there are people out there like this which stick onto and hold on to the idea that it's good because they enjoyed it, and they enjoy it just because they watched it once and didn't think about it.
Mm-hmm. But there are Last Jedi fans who don't like The Rise of Skywalker. There are most people that get into Star Wars, they like the movie that got them into Star Wars. So I think it's hard to find Star Wars fans that don't like the OT as a whole, or Star Wars fans that don't like the PT as a whole if they're PT
I know, there's
fans.
a lot of people that criticize the last one.
You didn't let me finish. There's like a distinction between different eras and genres in Star Wars, but as a whole, there were things that people had. They got things out of the entire piece of content. Now, the problem is that when you look at the sequel trilogy, there is a sequel trilogy fandom that is split down the middle between people who like the J.J. Abrams stuff and people who really like the Last Jedi stuff. There's a complete tonal difference in the first and third movie and the second movie. Like they're not even in the same universe. Like they're alternate takes on each other, and that is what interests me about people that are like Reylo fans that are disappointed by The Rise of Skywalker. Clearly, they came in with one type of perspective to go and watch the movie. And then there are people that only like, that are not fans of The Last Jedi, but they like the other sequel movies, which is even stranger to me. So I always feel like the people that are finding their entertainment in these movies have a shallower view of the world and of art and of storytelling than they actually think they do, especially The Last Jedi, because people try and say how profound it is. It reminds me of somebody making abstract art and saying that it's profound and it has amazing meaning.
How does it make you feel?
Well, I like how does it make me feel. The problem is that doesn't take away from issues. That doesn't take away from the logic of a movie, because I think that for the movies to be based on some sort of logic, and then to take that away, that takes away my enjoyment. Now, I question people that don't have that gut instinct when they're like, what's going on here? Because those are people that are not going to be trustworthy, in my opinion, for suggesting to me what kind of movie I want to watch or making content for me. They're going to just overlook things that I am paying attention to.
Yeah.
Well, we can get into an argument about taste and genre and all these other things that people like about a certain instance of a thing they like. You'll get different criteria every time. And funnily enough, just because the criteria exists is enough for them. Like if there's a lightsaber, it's a good film. Or if there's a TIE fighter, there's a spaceship, it's like, that's amazing. I get to see a spaceship. I mean, aren't I privileged to see this amazing thing? It's great.
You only need to look as far as reaction videos to see the clap and weep tears whenever they see the Falcon in a trailer.
This reminds me also so much of my biggest issue with the entire armor theme argument that's always brought up. It's just like these people who always bring it up never seem to understand that the theme needs to be founded in the piece of art.
Oh yeah, themes are important.
Not only that, it's used as an excuse.
You need to prove that it's there. You need to show examples, how it's weaved together, how it makes sense in the story. And they just say, look, it's there, therefore it's good.
Well, the problem with
like,
any
say,
of these...
if I criticize Poe, I say, oh, okay, so this here doesn't make sense with that, and why he gets demoted. And then I say, oh, but the theme of failure... and it's like, but then that just Poe's incompetent for no fucking reason, and then he saved everyone. But the failure, the theme.
I noticed the theme of failure didn't start up originally, and has come quite recently as a defense after everything else was battered away.
Are you kidding me? That's one of the day one things.
Was it?
Yeah,
oh,
it said in the film.
When I heard about it. Oh, right.
Well, the only problem...
in the film, it's Yoda says greatest teacher failure is, and then everyone latched onto that one line as a defense.
Well, the problem with any of these literary discussions with people or average viewers or laymen, whatever you want to call them, is they don't understand the actual terms. So when you have it, we were talking to, I think, Hawknose, we were talking to someone on Twitter today who saw these amazing arcs in TLJ. I was like, really? Which one? Give me a name. And they said, they listed 6 names. Really? There were 6 character arcs in The Last Jedi? Who? Yeah. When? Where? How did this? And they couldn't tell me.
And his best answer was, watch the movie again, Rick. And that was it.
Right.
That was his response to Smud asking.
What?
You just told him to read a book about what character arcs are.
Well, I gave him a definition from the basic. If you search it online, the first response you get is, well, this is what happens when a character from one personality goes to another. This is the hero's journey. This is all these other things.
Smud, you're just pompous, Smud. Pompous. Smud. You should have a shame.
So even if you
kind
were
of you to give him a chance.
Well, even if you have these discussions, they're not going to be able to understand what you're saying because their words that they've used means this thing is good. It has themes, it has arcs, it has character conflict, it has internal monologue. It's like what? That's not what makes something work. You have to understand the mechanics of the thing you're talking about, and that's why there's really no reason to go talk to these people. Like the way we're doing right now, there's really no point. They're not going to listen to us. They're not going to care. They're going to argue semantics till you're blue in the face, and it's going to be a waste of everyone's time. So, talking to ATAT-Chan, even if we get the opportunity, would not make a difference.
No,
I don't think so. Not at this point.
Anyway, we've been blabbing for a bit too long here. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
What we were just talking about. In The Empire Strikes Back, Luke rushes to the aid of his friends regardless of the warning that it's a trap.
Exactly the same at all. Because you're trying to say that it was instinct that he suddenly just attempted to kill someone or was about to kill someone. This is, while he's still reacting to a vision, is actively thinking it out. It's like, oh, I've got to save people. And then you would assume he would learn from his mistake of acting brashly. So you're saying he's a static character again because he's a young character, Luke. I thought, how old is he canonically? Canonically, he's like 20 or something.
This
20,
so as you get older, you become less brash and more wise.
Right, and in the example of the brashness that he lost his arm in the process, this gets brought up again, at least visually, in episode 6, where he's giving into his feelings and he looks at his fist, which is the robotic arm. This is what emotion has caused me, and now I'm giving into it. And then he throws away his lightsaber. So this is the arc that Luke went on, mostly in episode 6, where he's become this new character who's aware of his emotions, who accepts the fact that he was a Jedi, or was taught as a Jedi, and is now a Jedi like his father he believes in. And that's when his father also takes the same journey. I guess you could argue he doesn't, but because it's an antagonist done properly, he gets his instant climax, Vader, and decides to save his son. So that was the progression of 3 movies or 3 stories that all connected at the end. Whether you enjoyed that or not, or whether it was tied up properly, is always a good argument. But that shows us that he had an arc and he grew as a character and changed. So when he went to wherever Kylo's bedchamber and decided to have his vision, he should be more than well equipped to how to deal with it, and he didn't.
Yeah,
because it has such a good foundation. Like it's amazing that none of those people could fight for it.
It's in the story. It's very clear, and you can interpret it differently. But you can't start warping that reasoning and saying, "Well, look at episode 5." It's like, yeah, that's episode 5. Look at episode 6. What happened there? He should have learned all this by now. And it's a strange thing to regress a personality when the point of a story, of a hero's journey, of an arc, is to get from point A in a character or personality to point B. You don't suddenly start arguing point A. It's silly.
You can't jump a nebulous amount of time and then just be like, oh, this is how he acts now.
Yeah, it's like when I was a child.
A character, you usually have a trajectory. So a character is going in this direction. Say, if you have a character who's growing to be very wise, and you would expect that they would be continued down that trajectory of what they're doing when you encounter them 30 years later. If you encounter this character 30 years later and all of a sudden they're a raving lunatic and you don't have any explanation for why they're a raving lunatic, what the hell's happened here? You need to have something down that path they're already going. You can't just put them on a completely different path that we haven't seen them go to.
Yeah, or it needs to be shown. If you want them to be drastically different, you need to show the change.
You can't just say, "Oh, it's been 30 years. People change." That's such a non-defense of what they did.
Okay,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, let's. We only surpassed 10 seconds. Let's keep on going here.
Yeah.
I can't keep the vision out of my head. They're my friends. I gotta help them.
In the result of this attempt to save his, left him without a hand and one of his friends frozen in carbonite. It didn't go the way that he thought it would. Now, rather than cause more problems after the fall of Ben, Luke chose to finally secluding himself to Octo wasn't
Luke's choices.
That was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
He's already frozen in carbonite before he gets there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's not a consequence of Luke going.
Yeah.
The consequence of him going is that he loses his hand.
Yeah.
And
that's okay. That's okay.
They escaped anyway without him.
Well, they had to rescue him. That was the whole ironic twist, is that he went to go save them, and he did such a bad job. They ended up luckily saving him. I don't know how they found him hanging from that, falling all that distance.
Aerial.
Then just hanging off a little wire, whatever that was. It's just like, where are you, Luke? Oh, we found you. Like, what? Okay.
It's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't much that like he...
I have to do another movie. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, we got to keep. Okay.
Hiding from. It was self-imposed isolation. Beyond that, knowing that Luke cut himself off from the Force, it makes sense that he would be completely unaware of the state of the galaxy at the current moment.
Why would the galaxy tell you
Han had died?
Why would the Force tell you the state of the galaxy?
Why would he give up? Why would a Jedi give up? This is the biggest problem that Mark Hamill himself said. Was like, a Jedi doesn't give up. He would double down and try and figure out whatever happened. Because Mark Hamill understands his character. This is a clear issue if your main actor thinks that the character is different, and not only the character, but the entire faction that they represent is acting in a way that they don't think the character would actually act. That's a sign of trouble.
I've seen people constantly bring up ObiWan in response to that line, saying a Jedi doesn't give up. But ObiWan wasn't giving up; he was staying on Tatooine to look after Luke.
Well, what's going to happen? What's going to happen now when you have people that are saying, "Oh, that Obi-Wan story is going to have all these adventures," so their argument is going to be invalidated by Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All these side stories.
Obi-Wan gave up, guys. He just went to Tatooine to die. He didn't go to Tatooine to protect anyone.
Okay. Why didn't Ahsoka do anything about the?
Because she didn't exist.
Order and stuff.
Yeah, I'm
just saying.
Orange woman bad.
Yeah. you can't just say, oh, Luke didn't do, Luke hid away and didn't do stuff and all that.
Luke was a bad man. Okay, he didn't.
It's even worse when it's confirmed that she's alive during Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. She's not dead.
Yeah,
because a bad man. He didn't.
I thought she was dead.
No, Dave Filoni. After everyone got really pissed that Ahsoka was seemingly dead because she was a Force ghost voice, Filoni went out there and said, "She's not dead, guys."
How old is she?
She was a Force ghost voice. She was voicing the radio.
Rise of Skywalker, she was a Force ghost.
Can somebody make a meme edit of all the voices that you hear? It's like Ahsoka. It's
you
like
hear
Obi-Wan.
Two Obi-Wans, by the way. You hear Hugh McGregor and you hear the older one.
I'm never going to be able to finish the sentence on this fucking podcast.
Oh, there are two of them.
Shush! I want to hear what Glib's got to say.
No, I was
about two Obi-Wans.
I was gonna say somebody should do a meme edit where it's all the different voices and then it's voice on the radio saying something.
You just Ray looks up, it's my ghost, and just say, "Get up, cunt."
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a city to burn.
I have been every voice inside your head.
Oh, what if it was literally just that? She looks up and I do the speech of I've forgotten the character's name from Cyberpunk. It's like, "Get up, kid."
Johnny Silverhand.
Johnny Silver, you got a Sith Lord to burn.
It's too bad
I can do that after the stream.
It's too bad that we didn't have Rey or Kylo Ren. Like, imagine if the Force ghosts had a relationship with the main characters that were like Johnny Silverhand. You know what I mean? So it's like, "Get the fuck up, Rey." You know what I mean? And it's like, you're really gonna take that shit? And he's just like annotating every single conversation. He's just like dissing. That would be
so amazing.
Look at this wannabe Sith right here. He's not even wearing a helmet. And then she's like, "That's true. You're not wearing a helmet." He's like,
"Yeah."
RIan Johnson busted my helmet.
It'd be great up until the point you realise that they actually did that in a Telltale video game for Tales of the Borderlands before Cyberpunk came out.
But hear me out. So we should have Rey, and she's going on her journey, and there are two Force ghosts, and they're trying to lead her in different directions, and one of them is RIan Johnson, and the other one is J.J. Abrams. And then so it's just like Ryan's like, hey, you should just like throw the lightsaber away, Rey. And JJ's like, no, the lightsaber's the most important thing, Rey. Don't throw it away. And there should be a third voice in their head
fighting each other.
There should be a third like Force Ghost, but it should just be Baby Yoda doing random shit.
Just Grogu in the corner eating shit.
Even though they call it Grogu, I'm still gonna call it Baby Yoda just to piss people off. You're dead naming Baby Yoda, Grogu. It's not. It's transitioned into Grogu.
That reminds me that like the original script of Episode 9, I think like Luke's ghost was constantly trolling Kylo Ren. Like he randomly appeared and kept talking to him. Like, what's
in the original script, he's just haunting Kylo Ren.
Hey Ben, you suck.
Rey, what are you waiting for? My family, they'll be back. And then Johnny Silverhand's right there, like, they're not coming back, bitch. Better get your ass off. You're the hero of this story. Why do you need somebody to tell you where your place is?
Even though we deleted scene of it mourning, it's clear that it hit him like a ton of bricks. It's another notch of failure on his belt. It's another result of what he did to Ben.
Exactly. Let me just point out, if talking about out of character, Luke is not a failure. Just because he fails doesn't mean that he's ultimately a failure. This movie turned him into a failure. If you want to say that he's still in character and a failure, how do you reconcile the end of Return of the Jedi?
I think the terminology a little if you want to say the theme that Yoda states, this is such a big deal. Every story is about that. Every single story where a character tries to do something and doesn't accomplish it is it's just a silly ethic to learn. Why do you give up? Why do you keep fighting? Why do you keep doing the things you're doing? You want something. You have reasons to get that thing. That is every story. So to have this most generic theme of failure is a great teacher, it's like, okay, what did Luke learn? What did he go through?
How to commit suicide?
I still don't know. He was about to burn some books. He got pissed off because Yoda did it. Then Yoda's like, hey, failure's kind of cool. He's like, oh.
Failure's kind of cool, dude. Try it. He hands over like a fucking crack pipe.
Here, try failure, you must.
I guess. I don't know. It didn't make any sense. Like, what did he learn? He kept bitching and kept disregarding Rey, and all of a sudden he's going to burn some books because he felt like it, and I don't get it.
Books he learned
that he better get the hell out of this series, so just kill himself. I think that's about as much as he learned.
Okay to be citizens.
Also, Glib, I know how you can reconcile Luke as a failure with the old Luke. He always was a failure. He just was very good at failing upwards.
Oh my god, can you imagine it's a hero's journey type story like Harry Potter or whatever, but it's like a RIan Johnson kind of thing. And then so it's like Hagrid goes like, instead of saying you're a wizard, Harry, he goes, Harry, you're a failure. We need you for the story. Like you have to keep going and failing. It's like, oh, that sounds like a miserable time. Yeah, but it'll be like Rick and Morty. Rick, yeah, but you got to be like Morty of the story.
Oh jeez, Hagrid, I don't have to do anything.
Jeez, Hagrid.
Come on, Morty, we gotta take out Adolf Hitler, like the magic version.
I can just imagine Hermione as Rick.
Do you think that's what like that's like what RIan Johnson was going for? He was going for like Rey is like the Morty version of the character, but like super powered, and then like you have to have this Rick character like you don't get it, like the Force doesn't give a shit what you do, that's just what they used to tell you, like it's all nihilism and stuff.
Why is your Rick impression so fucking
It was hilarious during because it was very obvious Lower Decks was trying to be a Rick and Morty ripoff, so it was hilarious when like we started taking the piss out of that right in the middle of it. Do
you want to know the real reason? It's not because I'm good at it. It's because the voice is kind of easy to do if you train yourself a little bit. I feel like there's some voices that everybody can do. Like everybody can do that Ray Romano voice if they know how to, like, you know what I mean? Like if you know the formula
Like, yeah, you talk like this, like you're talking in the back of your throat. Super easy to do.
So there's a lot of voices that are like that, and then there are voices that are just really difficult to do.
Homer Simpson. I remember Homer Simpson's an easy one.
Christopher Walken, like a really good one, is almost impossible to do. Like I've never, seen somebody do like a perfect impression of him, because there are just too many intricacies to it, and there are a lot of voices that are like that, and then that's always been funny to me because people make fun of. I know this is like a tangent, but people make fun of stereotype voices and like I think it's funny that there are some stereotype voices that are easy to do and ones that are like impossible to do. So like some of the like doing an accurate Scottish accent and you're as an American is going to be almost impossible to do. But doing a stupid Indian accent, almost everybody has one of those. And I think that offends people.
It's very easy.
Yes, it's very easy to do it. Yeah, because it's just like a sing-songy thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, Rick is easy to do. You just kind of make it sound like it's like in the back of your throat.
Yeah. Everything it's coming out of the back. It really hurts to do for a long time. You got to drink a lot of water.
All right, let's get back.
Back to depression. Star Wars, the depressing years.
Acting this way, it makes them human and vulnerable. And yeah, it makes us go, come on, get over it already. But
having your hand cut off makes you vulnerable as well. It's fine.
What about the fact that he was always human?
Yeah.
He didn't feel human to you? When was he not human?
He wasn't human in episode 2.
Well, what's happened to you?
You've gone really quiet.
He's right though. He wasn't human in episode 2 because he didn't exist yet.
That's also kind of he can't yet. Luke hasn't figured out how to forgive himself. And the fact that
he has because he hasn't. What? He didn't know that he fucked up until this movie.
What does he need to forgive himself for?
For trying to kill all of the conceits of his character that are contained in this movie that didn't exist in the previous movie are the justifications that AT-Chat uses to say that it's a good thing. Like this happened in this movie, therefore it's not out of character.
Yeah, but
for the other movies,
the entire argument he's putting on is he feels shameful or something, and he hasn't learned to forgive himself after all this time when he's a master Jedi who knows how to meditate and chill out and
master of stealth,
connect with his heart.
Also,
what? It doesn't make any sense though. Like if you're really good at I don't know drawing.
How many?
Hold on, don't interrupt, please.
Sorry.
If you're really good at a thing,
myself.
if you're really good at a thing, and this is the thing you need to do to get on with your life, and you stop doing that thing, and you know you should do it, you need some girl to come out of nowhere to say your sister wants you, and it doesn't quite make sense when all you want to do is die, and you don't kill. Like it's very contradictory to say these things that the path that Luke goes on, which is ultimately death. But he doesn't go ahead with it, so he doesn't care, or just forgets about. Does he want to forget? If he wants to forget, you should be fine. If he hasn't forgotten, there's something wrong. It's just like, which one is it? I'm trying to follow this line of thinking that you have to forgive yourself to move forward, but you can't do it alone.
They're going for the trope of the hero reignites the light of hope in the heart of the old. The old hero that used to be cool, but now he's not cool anymore. The problem is that people went into this movie thinking that he was still cool.
Yeah, but in order for that to happen, what's her name? Rey has to be this beacon of awesomeness and light and joy or whatever. And all she is moody and demanding and confused.
Yeah, she's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
She's like, why aren't you giving me the same treatment as the other characters?
It's like, because this movie didn't set that up and doesn't want that intentionally.
Why is a shit character. Why is she a sassy black lady?
And then we have...
Why are you training me? Huh? What's your problem?
And then Yoda comes out of nowhere to be the actual cause of Luke's transformation. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Do you think I got time for this shit?
Think I got
Yoda's
time
like,
to be out
"What
here?
the
I got a
hell?"
galaxy to save, baby.
Yoda comes out. What the hell are you doing?
What the hell are you doing here, bitch? You ain't reading the prime directives.
Pulls out his staff, just smacks him over the face a few times, like cracking him. Like, what the?
Now listen here, baby.
Lights him on fire.
I'm gonna teach you how to use this Jedi shit. You know what I mean?
Yoda, why have you not used the lightning before? Never you man.
Also, honestly, if it were like an all-black cast and it was just like full-on like 1990s sitcom, it would probably be a much better story. I'd watch the shit out of that. If it was like all the Boondocks characters.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'd love that.
I'd be super down for that. Because as progressive as they are, they're not really that progressive. They're not like interested in fucking around like that. They just plop these characters in with different skin colors and flavors, like they're trying to mix and match crayons in a box.
All right, let's keep going.
The hologram of Victor is the very thing, at least, to get the ball rolling with him teaching Rey.
Wow, it's just like the other movie.
Nostalgia. I also read this moment as Luke realizing he isn't the only master to have failed. So maybe he has a little bit left.
Oh, remember
why
when
would that specific memory make him think of the master? Because, like, Obi-Wan, he's already cited Obi-Wan as training Vader. And that was his whole, like, reasoning for why the Jedi must end. The Jedi caused Vader and Kylo Ren, despite, having peace for thousands of years and also training billions of other Jedi that didn't turn into the dark side.
Offer at the least. The next criticism and issue that people had was that The Force Awakens implied a much more grander reason to why Luke was at the first Jedi Temple, in that RIan Johnson misread the intent of Luke on that island. And to that I say, what? Look, I honestly may have completely misread the scene at the end of The Force Awakens, but it looks to me that Luke is confused as to why a human being is even on Ahch-To.
Okay, that's, I mean...
No, but I thought...
Didn't they say he went? Like they say he disappeared.
Like Han Solo saying he went to go find the first Jedi Temple. I thought there was some awesome Jedi whispers sort of thing. So we assume from that he's gone there for some sort of big reveal, some big power, some big teachings.
No.
I went back to the original. The original Jedi texts on underneath the surface of this island is a giant Jedi temple where all of the ancient texts were gathered, and I've convened my students, all of the other students just like you that you're going to train with to learn how to defeat the evil bad guys. They're all inside the caverns where we can go and we can have all these magical experiences, and I'll train you in the Force just like my father, and you can speak to the Force ghosts that come here and drink tea, whatever.
Just make it some giant underground temple that Luke went into, but some Force bullshit means that a Force user, once they enter, can't leave unless they've, I don't know, like, conquered the fear within themselves or something.
Or just have a purpose. Just have a reason why he's there.
No. He's confused. As you can
the way to escape is... The way to escape is to kill all the younglings that are there, but most good Jedis can't bring that over themselves.
Why would he leave a map to where he was going? Like, so, okay, here's this map. I'm going to separate into two pieces, and this is where I'm going. Bye.
And here, I'll just stick the rest in R2 for some reason.
No, it is never said that Luke left it.
Why would he go?
It's heavily inferred, though, because it's exactly to where he's going.
Well, we're trying.
Who was on R2 as well? Who left it then?
Yeah, it's like so stupid. The map itself, like it's just like dotted, like connected.
Yeah, it's
like a pirate map.
Goes into a little piece.
Instead, it should have like coordinates.
What did voice on the radio say? What were you saying, voice?
Why would he go if he's trying to get away from, the Force? Why would he go to, the planet where there's a Jedi temple, the first Jedi temple?
Dude, I love how it gets explained that he came here to die, right?
What more do you need? What more do you need?
Well, look at this facial expression.
A lightsaber.
This justification is he's confused. This is his reasoning behind what happens at the end of Episode 7. That's a good reason.
That's his confused face.
Like he doesn't know why he's here. He doesn't know why someone else would be here. Wow, what's happening? Okay. And then he just walks away. He literally just walks away.
Yeah.
Like, that's not connecting a scene.
If you're on an island and someone walks up behind you and you turn around, of course you're going to be a bit confused as, there's a person here. It's an instinct to look a little bit confused when you turn around and see someone you've never seen before behind you. Just staring at you.
Then she hands him her father's lightsaber, and he's like, "Yeah, whatever. I'll walk away now."
Oh, I've not seen this lightsaber in 35 years.
Yay!
It fell down a massive hole in Cloud City. No point. Yeah, well, whatever. Obviously, you're not important.
If I was Luke, I'd be like, "Where the fuck did you find this?"
Yeah, I know, right?
2 questions: who the fuck are you? Where the fuck did you find this?
There was a hand with that. Did you find the hand as well?
And why are you here? And why are you here?
Did you bring the hand too? I could really use that.
Yeah, use that. Yeah. It's been a bit using my other one.
She pulls out the hand and she's like, "I always come in handy." And then you get that, and then they roll credits. Saxophone music.
Yeah.
Would be something that would be in a RIan Johnson movie.
There's a subtitle that goes, "Unfortunately, this character will be in the rest of the movie."
It's been 30 years since I felt the touch of a woman. I imagine that hand will feel like it's.
I don't know.
Like it's what?
Voice cut out halfway through.
Play that again.
It's been 30 years since I felt the touch of a woman. I bet that hand will make it feel like it's someone.
Oh.
God damn it!
Jesus Christ!
The
Someone else.
stranger.
I think we got the joke, but thanks, voice.
Just want to repeat it for continuity's sake.
That's good.
That was excellent.
Yeah. All right.
And adding to that, he sees his father's lightsaber. He goes through a few emotions that are very distinct. The first
Really? Oh my God! We're gonna read his mind for emotion. Here we go, guys.
Yes. Oh, let's go.
one is contempt over actually seeing the blade.
Okay.
You see Luke grimace. In the next close-up of Luke has him looking sorrowful. His eyes are twitching, and it's like he might even burst into tears. He is visibly shaken by Rey standing there holding out that lightsaber.
This is the dumbest scene. She's like 3-4 meters away holding out something. It's like, Rey, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stab you.
Like, what is going on?
She's waiting for the credits. She's waiting for the credits. Smud. That's it.
And then Luke's like, Luke is going through cycles of emotion. No, he's not.
As Hawk previously said, just imagine you, Luke. You're alone on your fucking island. You just mind your business, and then stands this girl, like 5 meters away from you, stretching out her hand with a lightsaber. You're like, what the fuck?
I think confusion was the best.
What do you want?
Yeah, I think confusion was the best emotion. Then he started changing his mind to 2 other emotions. Like, dude, just stop. You're really reaching there.
Yeah, to be honest with you, looking at his face, I couldn't really tell much change in the look. He just looked like, what? Okay, gonna stand there, love. Okay, that's fine.
idea that to the island to like secretly prepare for battle against the First Order makes absolutely no sense to me.
Really, it makes no sense. Really,
Based on what we learn later on,
Master Jedi Luke goes away to the first Jedi Temple planet in a very remote part of the galaxy, has a map to find him so that someone brave enough to come out there and find him will get him, who happens to have Jedi powers. And you might think, hey, maybe he might teach me something. When they actually try, he does actually try teaching her something, but that doesn't go very far. And there were 3 lessons, but there were only like 1, which didn't do much, 2, which was just talking about how much he hated the Jedi, and the 3rd one never happened. So, yeah, thanks, RIan. I mean, but he's saying this never happens. Like, well, it does happen, but it doesn't amount to much.
Yeah.
I don't know like who said it first, but there was like a theory, like someone made that like it would have made more sense if Luke went there to cut himself off from the Force because he felt like some entity targets like all the Jedi who uses the Force, so he could like figure out something to fight Snoke. But This doesn't make much sense.
No.
It makes more
Based
sense.
in The Force Awakens, Han Solo explicitly says in the movie that ever since Luke disappeared, people have been looking for him. He was training a new generation of Jedi, and then one boy, an apprentice, turned against him and destroyed it all. And Luke felt responsible, and then he walked away from everything.
Yeah, which is all from this movie, so it can't be related to the other movie. TFA only hints that Kylo's the reason why Luke's thing fucked up, and then that, it doesn't even... Yes, it could be a failure, right? It could be a failure because he wasn't there in time, or he had to, there was like an uprising or something. It's a big tragedy. That's all that we got. We didn't get any of the other details of that. And The Last Jedi made it Luke out to be the worst possible character.
I just love the fact that he said ever since Luke went missing, people have been searching for him. It's like, you're right. You can't search for someone until they're missing.
Yeah.
Great dialogue from JJ there.
To me, it sounds like RIan Johnson took that and expanded upon it, giving it some real weight. Now, moving into number 4, this is our
real weight. That would be nice.
Okay.
If weight means the actual value in a plot, that it's so intrinsic to the plot, you need this character and what they did to mean something else in the plot, like a plot point or a plot goal or some conflict. What does he do?
You can't just say...
What is he really...
What is he say this adds weight and then not explain anything about why it added weight onto the next point.
Right. The only thing he does that has any value was he slows down the advance of Kylo Ren. Doesn't hurt him.
30 seconds.
By whatever it was. It wasn't much. And the thing is, that doesn't change what the actual rebels were doing. They were running away the entire movie. Whether they were running away in space or on the ground makes little difference. And the whole revelation, this is a revelation apparently from Poe. Oh, he's buying time. It's like, well, no shit. Of course, look at him. Like, look what he's doing. He's standing there. You're standing there. Like, what do you think is happening?
He's not going out there to get a signature. The right, Kylo Ren,
Like, everything's so patently surface level obvious, and that's the revel. It's like Ryan. Like, what are you doing? Do you want a plot twist?
I'm subverting expectations.
It's just a silly surface level movie that people think is so deep, and you sit there like, no, there's nothing there.
No, the only thing that Ryan wanted to do was just the opposite of whatever he thought was good. Whatever idea might have been good, he went, nope, we're doing the opposite.
I don't mind him wanting to say, oh, well, he would have been the hero. He's not the hero. Great. What are you going to do with him? What are you going to do with Rey?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with Kylo? They haven't done much. You still have to let them do something.
Heck, even, I hate I'm going to bring this up, even Dragon Age Inquisition let Hawk, the hero of the last game, do something. And that was a rubbish characterization. Luke does nothing here. Does absolutely nothing.
I like to compare... I like to compare the difference between Star Wars and Tron Legacy, The Last Jedi and Tron Legacy, because they have very similar setups where the younger, inheritor of the hero mantle goes to seek out the mystical old man who hasn't been seen in decades or whatever. But in Tron Legacy, there's a distinct thread of trying to give the old character and the new character an equal participation, or to give them each a respective amount of power and ability to change the narrative. And the bad decisions are made by the young person because they're presumptive, because they want to be helpful, because they're trying to be brash, exactly in the same way that Luke was in Empire Strikes Back when he went off to go save his friends. That's the same thing that Sam Flynn does in Tron Legacy. However, in The Last Jedi, it's the young person teaching the old man that he's a piece of shit and needs to stop being a piece of shit, and takes away all of the victories, and in the end kills off the main character instead of preserving it like in Tron Legacy. So it's very interesting to see how people have interpreted this being a positive thing. And so what I always end up asking people is like, do you want to end up in your life like Luke Skywalker? Does anybody here want to end up being like Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi?
No.
And nobody, right? So, I always want to ask that to Last Jedi fans. And do you want to be like Rey? Like, oh, Rey is awesome. She's just like me, and blah, blah, blah. So, like, exactly. So, the Luke Skywalker that I knew, that I liked, and as a kid was like, yeah, that's inspirational. That's influential. That character is no longer there. And you can tell by how it relates to people in actuality. How do you treat a person that acts like Luke in real life versus a person that acts like Luke, like in The Last Jedi or in Return of the Jedi? Who do you want to be around? Who do you want to behave like? Do you want to be the positive guy that's always trying to do the good thing against all odds and be a hero and then be also forgiving and able to redeem people? Or do you want to be Luke in The Last Jedi, give up, be depressed, disconnect yourself from your magical power, be a failure, be a guy that regrets the fact that they either did or did not kill their nephew who didn't get to go to see the end of anybody that they cared about? They didn't get to spend any time with them. They just decided to be by themselves. They didn't get to see any of the developments, didn't care about the universe that they saved before, that they fought for. Yeah. And then somebody wants to come here and gaslight you and try and say, no, dude, it's totally cool. It's totally the same thing. Being a loser is the same thing as being a winner.
This is the idea of the proportion that has to have impacted Luke as a character from Episode 6, because he was pretty much riding high. He won the day, helped destroy the Death Star, saved his father, yada yada. So he's way up there. So that's where he was last left. We have to then explain how he fell so far that he literally gives up everything to run away and just die. And there's not enough. All we
got is one night.
Apparently one time where he accidentally lit up his lightsaber, which caused him so much shame. He was so embarrassed. He was so distraught. He gave up his family, his abilities, his friendships, the galaxy. He threw it all away because he was scared. It makes almost no sense for that to happen. Like big things have to require big solutions, that sort of idea. This has to really have done something to him, and we don't get that.
I will say one thing about what Glib said, which I've noticed. When people talk about Luke Skywalker, they always say, oh, it's someone to look up to. I wish I could be like him, as in like in the original trilogy. But when people talk about Rey, I've noticed a lot of them say, oh yeah, she's exactly like me. And it's like, I can see where the problem is. I can see where the problem is. I can see where the problem is. Yeah. And it's a completely different thing. We look up to these characters as a way to improve ourselves, while you just look at them as like, I'm perfect, I'm great, everything that comes out of me is wonderful, I'm amazing, that's why I like Rey. So, yeah, listen to Glib just say that, it just made me just click something in my head.
Nice.
So I think what you said was right, Glib, yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while.
All right, let's keep on going.
Arguably the funniest critique of Luke. It's the issue that Luke is now just a milk-drinking hobo that does nothing and dies at the end of the movie, having used up too much of the Force.
That is what happens.
Yeah, it is true that Luke's a hermit on the island whose routine is kind of boring and mundane. However, that's the point. What did Luke most want to escape from in A New Hope? The
Jesus Christ.
What did he want to? What did he do in the first movie before he had his character arc? He was a kid who wanted to go off an adventure. Let's wait a minute. Let's really get to the bottom of this. Okay, so Luke Skywalker wants to join the Academy. We assume that it's either the Imperial Academy and then he's going to break off to the Rebels, or he's going to go to the Rebel Academy if such a thing exists, right? He wants to, he spends a lot of his time imagining what it's like to be a pilot. It seems to be the number one thing that he thinks about. He's got his T-16 Skyhopper. He plays with it and with the toys. But most of his time is just maintaining his family's business because that's what's required. It's literally placed on a desert planet, so you can get the sense of isolation. It's extreme isolation.
All his friends have gone as well.
All of his, now that may be cut out of the movie's deleted scenes, but he still references them. He's like, everybody that he knows that's around him.
Well, no, that's still in there. There's a scene in the movie where it says all his friends have already gone.
I understand that, but there's a scene where you see The deleted scene where Biggs Darklighter is leaving, and he looks like the big kid on campus, and Luke is like in awe of him in a way, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, Luke. I'll see you. You know, you'll be out there in a little bit." So that's supposed to be the bait that makes him more want to leave even more. So you get more of his backstory. Cutting that out, it's not really necessary. It's not in the movie. All they needed was the line, like you guys pointed out. But the point is that this is a person that is a young person. This is the young stage of your life, where you want to leave the family homestead, literally, and go out and find your own way, find something that is meaningful in your life that you can contribute to. You want to join up, and especially when it's a righteous crusade against the bad guys who are literally taking over your planet, essentially. So there's all of this stuff. And at the point where Luke is in The Last Jedi, he's already gone through this arc. There's nothing... Why doesn't he know these lessons by now? The only way that what ATAT-Chan says makes sense is if this character has regressed to a point in A New Hope, which means that he's no longer, a 60-something-year-old wizened person that's been through a lot of experiences and has learned and gained from that, aka the older version of our hero. He's now become a decrepit hobo who has the same mentality as himself when he was a 20-year-old, 23-year-old.
I do like the fact that he said people are just saying he's a milk drinking, crazed hobo who just wants to die and then dies at the end. And then he says, and that's the point. They're right. Okay, good defense. It's like, we do know this. So what's the point? And it's like, no, but that's the way he's meant to be.
He's like, it's meant to be that way. Get over it.
How are we wrong then? Oh no, you just got to get over it.
So we're not wrong. You just don't like that we don't like it, right?
Like it, yeah. That's it. That's literally his thing. Oh, I don't like the fact that you don't like it. Okay, cry harder. Okay, I don't care.
They're trying to make it sound like it's some kind of superficial thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they just don't like that they did this creative decision. Oh, it's just how you interpret it.
It's stylistically designed to be this way.
Interesting.
Existence farmer, a full life of chores. On Octo, he embraces that lifestyle, or possibly he's just forcing that upon himself.
He doesn't even farm. He's so regressed as a person that he doesn't even think it's worth it to farm. He just fishes. He gets milk from the literal sea cow that's there lying on the fucking thing. That's not his property. He's not like on a moisture farm. He's not embracing his past either by going back to the desert. So I don't know what you're talking about. He's living on this literal rock that nobody would live in real life. Nobody lives on Skellig Michael in Scotland. What are you, crazy?
No. Yeah. He's doing a very good job of not dying
as well.
By the way, he's doing a very good job of not dying on an island which can pretty much kill you quite easily.
Yeah, he's strangely being very self-sustaining. Die.
Yes. For a person who wants to die,
no one
why
living in a place, there's usually a reason why no one lives there.
Yeah, the scenes we saw from Shiny's little behind the scenes shot, there's all these barricades, like, so you're not allowed to go on the island because it's very dangerous. Walking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not an easy place to venture out to. It's
But he wants to die. He's so keen on dying for all this time. It's like, yep, okay.
He's so keen on dying that he's got a hut that's nicely, got plenty of things to live in and feeds himself.
Wow, this character, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, get carrying, Glib.
I was going to say this character that has been surrounded his entire life by wanting to be around people and like wanting to have like a technical ability to do something. Caring about flying around and his craft and stuff, and caring about stuff. He just has lost his entire motivation to do anything, his like will to live. And it's all because of something that happened like 20 years ago that he doesn't think that he can fix. He doesn't even try. Why would we want to see that?
How many years actually passed between Kylo destroying the new Jedi Temple and Last Jedi?
It's hard to say.
6 years.
6 years. Okay. And if he went out there straight away, so he's been there for 6 years. He's lived on the island for 6 years.
Oh, 6 years. That's so boring. It's such a boring story. So boring.
Yeah.
He was trying to kill himself for 6 years. Wow.
Oh, we have this most legendary hero of this expensive franchise. Let's just plop him on an island where he's a depressed loser who doesn't want to do anything and doesn't even have the powers anymore and just wants to die. Well, who pitches that in a meeting? And then the other person goes, "That's brilliant. Let's do that."
Kathleen Kennedy.
Fucking first draft?
Okay.
Fuck yeah, dude.
No, there's no way Kathleen Kennedy heard that pitch. She just says, "RIan Johnson, here you go," and he went, "Thank you." That's it.
She was sitting there in the documentary, like she was like next door to Ryan.
Do you think she was listening to what he was saying?
No, she was just going, I love money.
Yeah,
money.
exactly.
Just like that, just going off in her head. And then someone goes, "So what do you think of the script?" She went, "Yeah, it's fine."
She read the script. She read the script and went, "Oh, sweet! You made the girl the superhero. That's better than everybody. Perfect. I love it. Green light."
Yeah.
I still don't understand. Like Glib, you probably have more idea about this, but why did they choose Ryan, who is like a no-name director and writer, for this? Like, it doesn't make any sense for Disney.
Woke politics.
Kathleen must have seen something that he did and went, "Oh my god, this is so great. We got to we got to get him in here."
Looper was that impressive.
It's probably someone who would toe the line.
I liked Brick, but I didn't think it was that impressive. I don't know what it was about his work, like Looper or whatever, that made him valid for Star Wars. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know. I don't understand. I haven't been able to understand the decision-making process of Hollywood without attributing direct malice against their current audience to try and transform the content to become some sort of woke propaganda. It doesn't make any sense to me otherwise.
Yeah, I agree with Glenn. It has to be that, otherwise, because there's no other. They can't be wasting that much money. And
you're like
giving very little back for. Yeah.
You're like, what about Occam's Razor? And I'm like, okay, so they're the best, most expensive, well-backed company is making decisions that seem to alienate their audience, and the entire entertainment business is about catering to your audience. It's like we always go into the restaurant food metaphors. It's literally like serving something that your customers don't want after having given them the same thing for decades. It's new Coke, but instead it's woke. It's woke Coke now.
Yeah. No, it's like at a restaurant having a wonderful first course, second course, and a dessert. The chef just gets on your table and takes a shit right in front of you, and they're like, "Come back for more." No, I don't care how good the other ones were. Now you've done this, it's just completely ruined it. But
for years, you've gone and gotten an organic beef burger from your local burger joint. Then one day, you find out that the owner sold it. And you're like, "Oh, who did they sell it to?" "Oh, it was the old chef that used to be here." Then you find out she's a vegan freak and legitimately wants it just to be mostly vegan food. So the Big Mac burger that you usually get there gets changed to a veggie soy burger with a glaze on it. And you're like, "This doesn't taste anything like it. It has the exact same name as the burger that I like, but it's not a real burger anymore."
Yeah,
and they're like,
it's like putting pineapple in a burger.
You just hate vegans. You don't.
It's like putting pineapple on pizza.
You're not a real fan of this burger joint. You don't just eat the burger. You know what I mean? You just hate women.
Yeah.
You just hate vegan burgers.
Holy
shit, dude!
You're an old left rightist communist Nazi.
I wanted this one thing that I used to get over and over again, and I wanted maybe I wanted a barbecue burger, or I wanted blue cheese on this version. I wanted bacon and avocado on this version. And what they got was they changed it up. They said, okay, now the burger's no longer on bread. It doesn't have cheese anymore, even though you wanted it. And it's not made out of beef. It's made out of impossible meat. I'm like, this isn't even a burger to me anymore. That's how I feel about The Last Jedi. Like, yeah, but it subverted your expectations, didn't it?
It's like, yeah, but that's not always a good thing. It's...
All right, we got almost 6 minutes left. All right, let's try this out.
Either way, it doesn't make sense. What other kind of life would Luke return to when he's uninvolved with the Force in the Jedi? Regarding his doing nothing, well, he does teach Rey about the Force and its nature. His routine on Octo also hints at the true power that Luke has hidden beneath all of his shame.
How does that make any sense?
What shame?
How can he cut himself off from the Force and do this pole vault thing, by the way?
Yeah.
How does he do all this magical shit without having any idea of the Force? And if he's so snarky about teaching this person the Force, why doesn't he just do that? Why does he give up? Choose one or the other.
Yeah, there's also a lot of things he could do, which doesn't involve being like a Jedi Master.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things he could do, rather than being a hobo on an island.
I actually would have preferred if he was just some sort of transient hobo that went across the galaxy, just like doing good deeds and shit. And then it was like, how do we track down Luke? We have to track down the good deeds. Oh, he did this over here. Oh, somebody there. And so he's just like constantly been attacking. And then when they finally get him, he's doing all this awesome shit, leading a rebellion. And he's like, what took you so long?
You madman, that sounds good. Stop.
Oh, it's good. You're going to please the fans. We have to keep their expectations down. We have to keep them impressed.
That's right.
It would have been nice if it was all a ruse. Like he just like acting like a complete dick to her just to see what she's made of and all this other...
Yeah.
Kind of like what Yoda was doing, where he was pretending to be like a crazy old man.
And also that would explain why he got angry when she went, into the dark side hole. He could have gone like, "Oh my god, my ruse worked too well." She,
in the butthole pit.
And that that broke him out of it. Says like, "No, listen, I'm not actually like this. Come, I'll show you all the good stuff."
I'm a real ally. You'll see.
Patching it through.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an interesting super chat. I'm not sure what to make of this yet. Criminal Imagination, thank you. Here's a company who had a big portrait of Luke and crossed his eyes out. Speaker most likely said...
Okay, that was not a portrait. I know what you're about and referring to. There was a video inside, was it Lucasfilm? And it was in a creative room. There was lots of things posted up on the wall. And there was a picture of Luke. It wasn't a big portrait, like I think it said here. Yeah, No, it wasn't a big portrait. It was just a regular-sized photo. It wasn't bigger than A4, probably smaller than A4. And it had his eyes crossed out. And that was after the TLJ.
Wow.
So it wasn't...
So yeah, it's true, but it wasn't a big picture.
So then the rest of it was Speaker most likely said, here's Luke, an old white dude who needs to get out of the way of women, as she X'd his eyes. Yeah, I mean, but this is the thing, is like, when you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, because it's kind of like a party line thing, where it's white men, old white men need to get out of the way of women. And the funniest question is that I always ask, like, and I don't think that the people that propagate that kind of thing, they're like dogs chasing cars, like the Joker. They don't know what to do when they've got it. They're not thinking 12 steps ahead. They're just thinking one step ahead. I think that it's funny that women are out there trying to say we need to tear down what men have built so that we can do what? And then they go, have equality or whatever it is. Like, you can have today. And you're like, that is, you haven't even, you can try and be persuasive and give me a line, but you're not going to convince me based on logic. You're not going to blueprint out something that's going to make a lot of sense. And that's what happens here. That's exactly what happened with Star Wars, is that it's like, get out of the way, man. We're in charge now. And I'm like, you're in charge of what? A downward slope.
Let's put it this way. Yeah, let's put it this way. Kathleen Kennedy would not have got anywhere without old white men. At all. Should have been kicked out on her ass ages ago. If anyone else had been in charge.
She fucking bought the rights of the actual IP off an old white man.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't buy it. Another old white man came along and bought it.
Bought it for her and then gave it to her.
Yeah.
Here is Jaegerbomb 2. RIan Johnson not getting his trilogy and the sequels not getting followed up on is plenty sign that things went wrong. Also, my last account got nuked. Oh. So Jaegerbomb 2 it is. All right.
Shit, man.
Yeah, YouTube has been really deleting or getting rid of subscribers in the past month. And I think it's mostly for streamers, either as a result of bots or something's going on, because I've been losing subs and LitDev's been losing subs. It's been this weird pattern. So I don't know if that's actual users or bots or what have you. I can't tell you. So people have been losing their accounts for whatever reason. I just don't know. Anyway.
Crazy.
Well, we still got 5 minutes left, so let's keep going.
I assume that's the point of the fishing scene where Luke jumps the Grand Canyon without even being tapped into the Force at all.
Not really the
Really?
Grand Canyon.
Really?
The Grand Canyon.
Dude, you think a 60-year-old man's knees can take that shit? Are you fucking dumb? Have you ever seen Mark Hamill move? This dude is not using the Force to use a giant pole vault. Are you fucking for real? Who knows how to do that? Who could even do that? That your legs would fucking break.
His robotic hand gives him super strength.
Oh yeah, totally.
He hasn't got robotic knees.
I wish I had robotic knees. That would solve a lot of
nanomachines, son.
Yeah. The end film, while not
I guess we're just going to skip over that part.
Stated, Luke's death was a choice. He wasn't.
Luke's death was a choice. No shit. A movie is a series of choices.
Can I just say, with the full screen I've got, Luke's got the tiniest lightsaber, and it's adorable. On the Force
I'm just
screen
gonna
that
die
I can
now.
see.
Yeah, that's a pretty good screen cap right there.
I just find it kind of fantastic that Luke went to that island to die, yet it took him so long to die that he still managed to do something before dying.
Yeah.
It's like,
also, about forgiveness, he straight up insults Kylo in this fight. So much for wanting forgiveness for stuff. He just in this scene it shows that he just does not.
I'm not here to save you.
Yeah.
To spend
Every single word you've said is wrong. It's like, oh, all right, yeah, okay.
Oh, he said the thing that he said before. It's great. It's characterization, guys. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. I want forgiveness. Okay. Well, I better start insulting the guy I want forgiveness from.
Explicitly stated, Luke's death was a choice. He wasn't too spent by using the Force. After apologizing to his sister.
Oh wait, it was literally a choice for him. He just turned off. He just said shut down, dash now. Are you serious?
At any point in 6 years.
I'll just kill myself.
I came here to die, but I'm not gonna die right now. I'm gonna die after Rey gets here.
No, it took him that long to figure out how to die.
Literally, the movie's just like, all right, and then Luke decided, I'm done. What a dickhead.
Luke, you'd be really useful in our fight against Nap. I'm out.
I'm out.
Do you remember your 2.5
Peace out, bro.
Do you remember your 2.5 lessons, Rey? Great, see ya.
YOLO.
Just fucking comes back as a Force ghost.
Oh, by the way, I burnt the books. Bye.
No, Dole burnt the books.
Saving the Resistance, apologizing to Ben, and affirming
he doesn't apologize to Ben.
Luke has done what's necessary in this final phase
of
his life,
he didn't
and
apologize.
then willingly becomes one with the Force. It's the natural progression of his character. Just like Obi-Wan, Yoda, Qui-Gon, and Anakin, Luke joins the ranks of blue-hued men damaging trees across the galaxy. Now, number 5, which is Luke physically going to Crate, is interesting to me because I think people forget that the point of being a Jedi is to protect the light.
Oh, just stop.
No, it's not to protect the light.
What kind of stupid argument is this?
They only fight in defense. Well, I guess that ambush
what the hell?
that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon do in Episode 1 against those droids. They didn't wait until someone got attacked.
You can't fight in defense if you're physically there.
So what do? You pull out your lightsaber, wait for them to attack you, then you kill them? Is that the logic?
Surely it'd be fighting. Even using this logic, it would still be fighting to defend the what's left of the Resistance.
Yeah. So
that it's still fighting to defend someone.
And defend them.
What happens with Episode 3 when Anakin is fighting against Dooku? You kill him. He's like, oh, I shouldn't do that. There's nothing. Kill him. Okay. Was that?
I noticed. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I noticed that most of his arguments are just him just stating something, and then he just continues.
Yeah, there's no evidence. He's not provided any bit of evidence for any of his points.
Well, not even that. He doesn't even argue why it would be that way.
Anytime a
You know,
Jedi...
he doesn't even give you an argument. He just gives you statements.
Jedi protect the lie and never attack. Okay, shows evidence of a Jedi not attacking. Only fighting in defense.
Anytime we see a
Because
Jedi...
I can find numerous...
In pretty much all the stories, the Jedi are the natural enemy of the Sith. It just happens like oil and water, whatever you want to call that. Yes, the Jedi will try to retreat if they can, because they don't want to fight these guys. They're crazy. But they will take the opportunity to kill them if they can. Because they know how dangerous the Sith and how evil they are. It is their job to protect justice and order and life and peace.
There were generals in the whole war. You think every single battle in the Clone Wars was just defense?
Who were Jedi? Who fought in wars? Who killed people?
Generals were entirely just defensive. That would be the joke.
They just react. They just wait there for it to get attacked. Oh, we're getting attacked now. Now we can kill. Like, what?
Yeah.
I actually imagine that Anakin's like, Master, we can kill them now. It's like, no, I know Anakin. They haven't attacked yet. It's like, Master, just go.
And so the clones
they're wiping out our clones. Yes, but they haven't attacked us directly. We have to wait until they attack us directly before we attack them.
This sounds like what's that? That stupid kung fu movie that was a parody, Kung Pao or whatever. Stupid.
Yes,
it was taught the opposite. Like that's what this is. This is so dumb.
It reminds me of a fun story where you have the clones coming more and more inventive with strategies to make false flag maneuvers, so that they would get the Jedis to attack.
Yeah, it's like we have to influence the peace loving hippie guys who are gods to say, oh look, my friend just got killed. Please save us. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What a bizarre argument.
Well, state
only for defense and never for attack. And knowing what we know about Luke, who refuses to hold a lightsaber.
So wait a second. So when he pulls out his lightsaber, he was defending who exactly?
Your mom, dude.
This is just stupid. He's just made up his own headcanon, and now he's demanding that people believe it because he's obviously right. Fucking idiot.
Let's try
because if he would bother to think about these arguments for more than 1 minute, this video wouldn't exist.
So, but let's think this through.
I wish he had thought about it.
If he thinks preemptively killing Kylo would be a form of defense, what is he defending? The future? What?
Yes.
The thing he hasn't done? That would be against so many things.
He's not a kid. He's not a child. Kylo's not a child in that scene.
Yeah,
he's definitely fine to preemptively kill him.
It's bizarre.
What if you brought this up in response to... Because a minute ago he was saying, oh, it's fine because Luke is flawed, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, Luke can't do this because it's not the Jedi way.
Remember when ObiWan goes to face Anakin in Episode 3 when he took he hid in the locker of whatever that ship with Padme?
Mm-hmm.
Was he actively looking for a fight, or he just like, hey, how's it going? Oh, you're choking your wife. Oh, how's it going? What? No.
Hello there.
Yeah. What was he gonna do?
Hello there.
He's gonna try and save his friend. He couldn't do it, so he killed him. Or
I will
when he
do what I must.
It's just
when he ambushed Grievous, was he defending himself? It was just a defensive ambush.
Yeah.
Hello, defend.
Yeah.
I'm going to block all your blaster bolts and run away. Yeah, okay.
Attack me, otherwise I cannot defend myself.
I just imagine the Grievous just like, no, I'm not going to attack you. It's like, but you have to.
No. Nah. Grievous just sits down. Starts having a cup of
when
tea.
Yoda goes to encounter Palpatine,
I can stay here all day.
Yoda goes up against Palpatine. Well, again, I'm gonna fight you now. I was like, no, you gotta fight me first. It's like, okay.
I just had this image in my head of Grievous sitting down and just starting knitting.
I'm completely safe.
I like the idea that Grievous is just there. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to attack you. And he just clicks his fingers. The droids come out and cuffs. It's like, remember, no one's attacking you, Obi-Wan. And everyone's just has to stand there like, oh, God damn it. Put them in cuffs. No one's attacking you.
Again.
Yeah, so episode 6, Luke just gives himself up to the Empire because he doesn't want to face his father. Maybe that might not be a violent confrontation, but he's still dealing with a confrontation. He's going to conflict. He's not defensively going to have an argument. I'm going to talk to you about why the light side's so good. He wants to save his dad. He's going to do whatever it takes.
Yeah. Just this idea that the Jedi were just space hippies. It's
hilarious when you read articles online where it's like, this kid didn't fight back against bullies because it wasn't the Jedi way. Fucking stupid.
This kid got beat up super hard. Yeah, and he's a real Jedi hero. He just got it,
Yeah, I remember that story. I think you even mentioned it when
if someone attacks you, you can punch back.
Kids, if someone attacks you, take out your Glock 18C and set it to fully automatic. That'll teach the bully.
Yeah. I don't even disagree with that. Shoot the bastard.
Shoot the cunt.
Anymore
Shoot
for what happened with Ben, why would he all of a sudden show up to face Ben with a lightsaber? Luke tricked his nephew into halting their entire assault on the remaining resistance. He made himself appear like an unstoppable force after walking out of a red cloud made by the never-ending blaster fire from towering ATM-6s. And then
the never-ending fire that ended.
This dude can't figure it out. This dude just can't. He's just staring at him like, oh, how's he doing it? How's he still alive? What did he do? He's just like, I guess he's just invincible. And Kylo just understands what's happening or doesn't understand what's happening, and then still just decides to be like, okay, I guess guns don't kill. Guns don't kill him, so I guess I'm gonna go out and have a sword fight. That'll do.
Guns.
But
he has the same armor as Mando.
Luke pulls out the lightsaber that was just destroyed a minute ago, that he knew was destroyed.
Yes.
And he doesn't figure it out.
Yeah, but
because it's not even it's the same color. It's a completely different color to his old lightsaber.
Yeah, but
he can't even see it. He can't see it from here. He's got nearsighted vision, so he can't tell exactly what's going on. He just doesn't.
He's colorblind.
He doesn't wear glasses because he's trying to impress Rey.
So
Kylo is colorblind.
Yeah, but Kylo is also a force sensitive. Like, he's a very powerful Sith. He could sense things as well, just as a Jedi can. He can't sense this non-entity there. He doesn't sense anything.
Nope, he can't. He's too blinded by his hatred for the guy that tried to kill him or whatever.
I'm just imagining that right at the end, after Luke disappears, all Kylo says is, "Oh, it is salt." Great, and that's it. You just see Hooks and everyone in the background just with like face palms.
And what if you also just go like Kylo Ren doesn't attack Luke? It's like, I'm not attacking you, Luke. You can't attack me. My army's not attacking you. We're just gonna walk in there and arrest these terrorists. You can't do anything. We're not attacking.
Yeah.
It's a distraction. You know what he does? It's funny. He's like, all these guys are standing behind him, and Kylo doesn't go, all right, go in there and get him. I'm going to deal with Luke. Because what's he going to do? What's Luke going to do? Stop everybody at the same time?
Yeah.
Just send in the troops, right? But then the rebels are such a small number at this point. They all just fit in the Falcon, which somehow makes it in there, and there's only a certain amount of TIE fighters. It's illogical. It doesn't make any sense. Come on.
We can still rebuild. Yes, all 7 of you can rebuild.
The fact that people think that this is good is just cute. It's just adorable. It's such a cute boy.
I still want to know how supposedly the galaxy knew about this standoff. With like,
I forgot about the one from the previous
First
ones.
Order.
But for me, it's mostly standing. They know of this standoff, but the entire galaxy completely forgot about what Luke did before.
Yeah.
Yes.
They completely forgot about the Galactic Civil War.
Like Luke himself, because he had all these abilities and skills and growth. And
even the Jedi, because Rey thinks it's a myth.
Yeah.
The only people that actually observed the confrontation between the two were like the stormtroopers. It's just like it's just 2 stormtroopers looking out there. It's like, hey, what the fuck just happened? And then just tell this story to some other stormtroopers who apparently tell it to more stormtroopers, and then apparently gets down the line to Canto Bite somehow.
Yes.
And then it's like but what would the story be? Again, it's like, yeah, so we walked out there, and Kylo Ren walked out there, and the guy just disappeared. We think.
Mom, can you tell me the story of the geriatric who did nothing and then disappeared again?
Yeah, it's just.
Have you heard of the story of Darth Skywalker, the dumbass? He just kind of gave up, and then he showed up and was invincible for a second, and then a bunch of people ran away.
A legendary story.
Dad, did they win the battle? No, son. They just left.
They exited the lobby.
Legendary.
So, did they win? No, many of them died. Quite painfully.
And in fact, so did he. But he decided to. He committed suicide.
It was planned all along.
To die.
Which is all without ever even setting foot on the planet. Either way, Luke would never truly engage Ben Solo in lightsaber combat. But even though Luke's an apparition, we still get to see how skilled he is by dodging everything his nephew can throw.
Yeah, he can dodge everything. He's not there.
And another interesting thing about Luke using that technique to project himself onto Crate is that he was able to leave behind a projection of Han's dice for Ben Solo to find, to give him a little bit of a nudge. A lot of people
a nudge of what?
A nudge of, yeah.
Remember your father's dice that was given by the woman he dated before your mother?
Surely Kylo Ren doesn't know what those dice are.
No, he hasn't got a clue what those dice are.
I didn't even know what dice were.
Has he ever been on the Falcon? When did Han Solo lose the Falcon?
It was just
he needs to be told. He needed to be told that the Millennium Falcon belonged to his father, Han Solo.
True enough. But I just love it. The dice were just a random prop to add a little bit of character in the original. To make it, it would be a thing that you'd have like in a spaceship, like you have stuff like that near at the mirror in your car. And then this movie decided to make it super important, and then they fucked it over with Solo.
I think it's hilarious. Hilarious that they tried to like make some, or essentially, like furry dice, some kind of character.
I think it's hilarious that after he dies, the dice are still there.
And then they disappear later after him.
Yeah.
So while he's like doing all this emotional shit, staring at the sun, he's like, "Think of the dice. Okay, I still got the dice in the ground.
Dice ground.
Oh, I'm dying. I can't feel. Oh, dice.
Hey, what if Leia isn't even the mother?
He's just teasing. Did Kylo see the dice yet? Not yet. I gotta hold on. Yeah. It's like, come on.
No, Kylo, you're adopted.
Just trolling Kylo.
Luke's power, and then because Luke used all the power from the dice, they disappeared as well.
Oh,
yeah.
That was what killed
the dice him.
The dice killer. Oh God.
The dice is the key to all of this.
He rolled 2 ones, and he was fucked after that.
And when you think about it, he gave the dice to Leia. Leia drops it on the ground for whatever God. I mean, I know what these are, Luke. Why the hell did you give me this thing? Thanks. I'm gonna chuck that on the ground.
You jerk.
This is my husband's ex-girlfriend. What the hell?
Probably why Leia put them on the ground. It's like,
yeah. What the fuck is this? Oh, did you fuck her too? Oh, come on!
Oh. There is another.
Let's blow this thing and go home.
Yeah.
More to help Ben Solo, and I argue, what do you think that last lightsaber duel was?
What?
Buying time for the Resistance. What? This is what you've been.
All this time, he could have done anything. He could have tried to do anything. He just didn't. He didn't even try to redeem himself until Rey stepped in and went, "Hey, you gonna do this?" And went, "Nah, it'll be fine," or whatever. Where's Critical Drinker? Nah, it'll be fine.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Hey, Luke, do you want to help us? Nah, it'll be fine. Hey, do you want to train me? Nah, it'll be fine.
No, it'll be fine.
Go away now.
You didn't actually care enough to show up there.
Go away now. Yeah, he couldn't be asked to do that.
There was a lesson in leaving the dice was a reminder of his past will always be with him. Not every.
What?
What? You are
Kylo Ren
literally...
doesn't recognize these dice. These dice
Wait.
mean nothing to Kylo Ren.
Luke-
Kylo Ren is the byproduct of the relationship that these dice aren't related to.
Luke hasn't seen those dice in decades. What the hell does Luke care about the dice?
Yeah, they have nothing to do with Luke. They're about Solo. What
Oh my god. He is literally just using headcanon shit now. This is literally his own personal headcanon.
He has been using
Welcome to
headcanon for the entire
AT-AT chat.
video.
Yeah, but I knew...
It's
I knew he was an
ATAT-Chan.
idiot. I just...
All right.
Everything needs to be boinked over our heads. And
Everything needs to be up my
the
ass.
final big criticism is that Luke wanting to end the Order, die on an island, and have nothing to do with his legendary status isn't something the real Luke Skywalker would ever consider. It's anti-Star Wars. Well, first, I feel like this criticism
Okay, so
makes no sense.
using the exact same quote that you used earlier that didn't defend anything. Great, cheers. I've read this before.
Given say about Luke after the destruction of his temple. Remember, Luke just walked away from everything. This is in The Force Awakens. And considering the
Yes,
pros and
shit
cons
there
of the-
too.
No, what? It wasn't in The Force Awakens. We didn't know what he was doing there. We didn't know anything because basically JJ just did the Lost thing where he kicked the can down the corridor, and then when the fans went, "Hey, that can this is what's happening," and then Jay's like, "Yeah, totally, that's what's happening." Thank you, fans, for writing the story for me. And then that never happened because RIan Johnson stepped in and went, "What if I just fucked everything up?"
Yeah.
Well, it was
JJ
well, yeah, you're right. It is just J.J. Abrams' mystery box. Like the idea that what could be in the box is more powerful than what actually is. But then that's just storytelling with no substance.
JJ's like, I don't know, this character is too interesting. We have to keep him out of the plot. How do I do that? I'm going to give him no lines until the end of the movie.
Yeah. Well, I think JJ expected the next director to do something.
To do all the work for him.
Yeah, to do all the work for him. He didn't expect Ryan to come across like a fucking retard and go, subvert expectations, and then like force him to come back to try and fix stuff. I'm pretty sure JJ had no intentions, like he says, of ever going back to Star Wars after Force Awakens.
No, he didn't. He clearly didn't because Trevorrow was slated to do that. And then he got mad about The Last Jedi. And it was like, hey, this is a story. This is one story. It's not just give these different directors a different piece of the puzzle. It's what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, more like give them pieces of different puzzles.
It's like if someone, okay, so we're going to paint a painting, but I'm going to I'm going to paint this little bit in the middle. Voice, you're going to do the one on the right, and then Glib, you're doing the one on the left. And we only have a very general idea of what's going to be like very close to each part of those, and we don't know what's going to happen next. That is a complete stab. That's not going to come out well because you're going to have 3 different art styles, 3 different interpretations, 3 different ideas of what the hell's going to be going on.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Jedi isn't anti-Star Wars at all. That's part of the prequel story, and a lot of Star Wars media.
The prequel's not a shit story. You can't say, oh, well, the prequels did it, and that means it's good, but the prequels are crap.
Okay.
Star Wars media criticizes the Jedi in their role in government. Any choice you make as a Jedi is a choice against something else, and eventually, all of these choices will result in some form of imbalance. It's an imperfect.
What the hell is he talking about?
What are you actually on about?
He's saying that
every choice you make will lead to another choice. Yeah,
he's saying that the Jedi, since they take a stance, it eventually will lead to some kind of imbalance. And I thought he was going to say conflict, and I thought that was almost clever, where it's like, every choice that you make eventually leads to conflict, and that's the reason why you have a story about good and evil. AT-AT chat. It's not gray. It's actually not gray. You have a series of choices. Are you going to embrace slavery or not? Well, we can't say no and fight over it because I don't know. Maybe something bad will happen 100 years from now. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
The idea that this is how it functions is entirely hypocritical because Luke standing up to Vader and the Emperor actually solves the conflict and brings balance. So,
yeah,
I'm confused. It's not as simple as once you're a light side user and you engage in conflict that the balance of the force is is thrown out of whack. That's not how it works.
This balance of the Force thing is just ridiculous.
It's precisely the light side standing up and prevailing that is balanced to the Force.
Yeah, but
the
there's
dark side as it stands is just imbalance.
Sure, but there's
At least that's how George Lucas always meant it.
There's plenty of Jedi who make all kinds of choices that are just for the sake of being peaceful. How does that lead to conflict for the sake of there being a choice? I just don't get it. You're a monk. You live in a temple. What's your choice? I'm going to meditate, going to do some good deeds, and going to go sleep again. It's like okay. How does that
conflict? You don't see Jedi go, well, I'm going to have to kill like 10 people today because I saved 10 people yesterday. You got to keep that balance. You know.
What a strange argument.
Choice is a choice. It's
system. So, with that said, Luke's belief that the Jedi need to end is predicated on two things: his knowledge of what transpired in the prequels and his own failure with Ben Solo.
Does he know anything?
Both of these events had galaxy-wide repercussions. The creation
but
of
no
Vader,
one remembers.
He knows about the fall of Vader and his teacher was ObiWan, so that's about as much as he knows.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Galaxy-wide repercussions. Nobody remembers these things apart from maybe Luke and Leia, because it's supposedly all a myth.
What did he do that caused the First Order to come about? As far as I can tell, they just came about. We don't know why.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
No one knows. It
These
just
events
popped into existence.
Also, Obi-Wan stated that before Vader and the Empire, there was 1,000 generations of peace. Like, that doesn't sound that bad of a system to me.
Yeah.
That's awful. It's horrible.
We need balance. We need 1,000 generations of utter chaos and death and destruction.
I mean, sure. Like the prequels and the Clone Wars, both of them show like problems with the Jedi, but it doesn't seem to be so severe that you would need to end the entire order. Like you could make changes.
I fully agree.
But they don't even try to think about
the order was due to her being framed for a crime that she didn't commit, and then on top of that, they were being pressured by the Senate to, give her up to the Senate for trial, and that's more politics than anything wrong with their religion.
Yeah, you're talking about Ahsoka, right?
Yeah, Ahsoka. I said Ahsoka, didn't I?
And now the Mandalorian. Bring her to the Mandalorian. It doesn't make even a bit of sense that she's alive, because she could partner up with Luke and make an actual good order for once. But whatever.
Had galaxy-wide repercussions. The creation of Vader, his father, was due to a flaw in the teachings of the Jedi.
No, it was due to the seduction of the dark side of the Force. The flaw wasn't that the good side was fucked up. It was that evil doesn't rest and is very powerful and focused. Yeah. That's the problem.
And they knew which strings to play with Anakin.
Well,
yeah, I can save your wife from dying if you join me.
Okay, I'll join you.
All right. Now that you've joined me, I'm not sure we know how to do this. Help me.
Help me figure it out.
I killed Samuel L. Jackson for this?
Oh, you fucker! I just killed a bunch of kids and you don't even know how to make people stop from dying of a dream I had. What have I done? I'm gonna get some pizza.
Jedi of the Old Republic also accidentally let a Sith Lord rise to power.
Accidentally.
Whoops!
I fucked that one up.
He was pulling strings from the prequels.
I stubbed my toe. Oh shit! Another Sith Lord rising.
Palpatine spent decades plotting and manipulating everybody to get power. That's not accidentally done.
He just stumbled across it.
One day he just sat in the Chancellor's chair, and everyone went, "Oh, I guess he's Chancellor now." Oh, good.
I love how it's he's presenting it like occasionally they just accidentally choose someone to be the leader of the galaxy. He just accidentally happened to have someone who turned it into an empire.
Must be a robust voting system.
Well, I will say
Palpatine's on a tour of the Senate chambers. He just sits in the chair, and they go, well, he's obviously Chancellor now. He's the leader.
I will say the influence.
Oh, it's like the Wakanda system where just the strongest leader rules.
Dude, fuck America and like the U.S. Army because they accidentally allowed Pearl Harbor to happen. Like, they just accidentally let their enemy plan out a meticulous operation that they didn't really have all the information on. What an accident!
Eisenhower and Patton should have just walked away to a desolate island and killed themselves.
That's how we're gonna win. That's how we're gonna win. Not fighting what we hate, saving what we love.
Glib, we also have to remember that the Japanese accidentally planned that attack.
It just I accidentally fucked my girlfriend last night.
Yeah, I accidentally dropped a couple nukes on a couple people.
Order became militarized and a tool of the Republic. So all Luke can see right now is through this lens of his failure and the failures of the past. And
why? What about his victory? He can't go like, man, I basically saved the universe.
He's the most
by redeeming my father. I have all the Force Ghost on my side. I have all this information that could help me rebuild an order. Why is failure what he's focusing on? Because the only failure again comes from this movie. So he is out of character because this movie entirely places him out of character by rewriting his character.
The Clone Wars wasn't the only war that the Jedi's ever fought in.
But he doesn't know. Remember when Yoda's like, hey, "Did you read the books?" He's like, "Nah, I've watched too much Netflix."
No, Kermit the Frog. I didn't read the books.
Hey, Luke, did you read the Jedi texts? They're not really page turners. I know that.
Leave me alone, Mr. Peterson.
Honestly, people keep saying like the Clone Wars was the first time a Jedi fought stuff. They fought loads of wars before.
Who cares, dude?
It's just that,
He just thinks that Jedi are just like they're simultaneously supposed to stop all evil at the same time while attacking nobody. Which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
This failure in the failures of the past. And honestly, what's funny is by the end of this film, Luke has actually gotten over his bullshit and accepted.
Wait, what was that? What was that? Was that his bullshit? The bullshit that that they invented for the movie?
Yeah.
Oh. So wait a second.
Oh my God!
Is that bad?
Is that the script?
Does he like the bullshit?
How do you know that?
Head cannon is pretty shit.
Is he admitting it's bullshit?
God, you're so bullshit, Luke. All you needed to have was like everybody die around you to understand that the Jedi aren't the only ones that can have the Force. Anybody can do whatever, man. Double hippie.
Oh, we hit the 2-minute mark. Here we go.
His failure with Ben by virtue of a final lesson by Yoda. Luke starts off the film denying the worth of the Order, and at the end of the film, he affirms that it's needed and that it will live on long after he's gone. And it's just strange that.
Why?
How convenient!
Why did you get that in the first place?
How convenient for Yoda to pop up after all these years just to tell Luke, "Hey, you should probably go do something." Oh yeah.
All I want to do is be a Jedi in the OT. Then I win, and then all I want to do is train kids and help them out to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
And then one night, and I got scared, and then I tried to kill my nephew and sent him to Bel Air. Like, it's such a dumb fucking idea that this character, everything that he built up and worked for, his nephew had a dream, and then he's like, "Oh, I better take my lightsaber out," and then, "Oh, this looks so bad. I'm sorry, Kylo. I wasn't gonna kill you. I was just standing over you with a lightsaber in my hand that was glowing." You know what I mean? Whenever I'm standing over somebody who's sleeping and I'm trying not to disturb them, I always turn the light on.
Whenever I'm stood over someone with a stabby object.
Whenever I'm creeping on my nephews and watching their dreams and like spying on them. I always turn the lights on so that they stay asleep.
I always carry my gun and start loading it in front of them.
So, you're going to turn to the dark side, bitch? I don't know.
Slowly.
Wait a second. This is too much of a reaction. I'm thinking instinctively. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
you're pointing the gun at your little nephew's head at the school, and you're like, "Are you turning evil? Are these dreams going to happen? I'm going to shoot you."
Oh, Uncle Glib, all I said was, I didn't think there was any election fraud.
Shut up!
People don't focus on these things that actually did happen in the movie. Now, to wrap this up, I said in the beginning that this was the best arc in the sequel trilogy, and I firmly believe that.
Are you serious? Are you the arc of Luke is he does nothing, and then magical ghost creature comes by and tells him to do something, and he does it. That's his arc.
Oh,
brilliant!
Oh no!
Oh my! Oh, wonderful! Oh.
He went through no conflict. All he does is say no, no, no. Radially beats his ass. He still goes away, wants to burn some books, and that's it.
No. Yes, dead. That's it.
Remember, kids, a good old book burning is all you need to get you back on track.
Yeah.
Even that was a gotcha. He was like, nope, there's no books there. Wink.
Sacred Jedi texts!
Well, at least he got slapped in the face by a stick.
So wait, even Yoda thinks that there are books there? So he doesn't know?
Yeah.
Apparently not. Let's burn some books!
This movie is a fucking mess. Yeah, I don't understand how anyone can eat.
You have to just turn your brain off, or not have one to turn on.
My brain's been turned off to Last Jedi for ages, and it's still not making it seem any better.
My brain has been turned off ever since I've seen Rey with her never closing mouth. I mean, I wish I was turned on by the movie, but there's no Slave Leia outfit.
Too bad.
Let's go!
And I firmly believe that. I never expected us to get a literal full arc for Luke in the sequels.
So there isn't
What? Wow. I never expected this character to arc, but wow, this movie really made him shit and then kind of less shit.
I figured he would upon some pedestal and people would kind of use him like how Lando Calrissian was used in The Rise of Skywalker. He's just kind of like a trophy to be put in the movies for the sake of nostalgia. I'm so happy that we didn't get that and instead got to experience one of our most beloved heroes go through hell and back.
How is he a beloved hero if he just gives up and is a piece of shit and is ruined forever?
How did he go through hell?
He goes through hell, and that's it. He just goes through hell. There's nothing. There's no coming back.
What conflict?
He just goes through hell.
What happened that was conflicting him?
Yeah.
Bullshit they made up in this movie. Like Glib said, all the problems with Luke happen in this movie. Every failure, every problem just happens in this movie.
If you personally exile yourself and run away and live in a hermit by yourself fishing and whatever you do, is that hell?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I want to die. He was doing just fine for 6-7 years, whatever it was.
Yeah, he enjoys milking that space cow.
Yeah.
He was such something to live for.
That's his favorite space cow, supposedly, as well.
Luke is such a failure, he didn't figure out how to die in 6 years.
Over his depression, his shame, and accept failure, and
Didn't get
then
over
finally
it.
become the legend we all knew he truly was.
No, he didn't.
So
No, he
you
didn't.
want him to be a legend. You want him to be this awesome guy, but first he has to be a piece of shit for you to like him being an awesome guy. He can't just have done that the entire original trilogy. He hasn't earned the ability to be the master. He hasn't earned the ability to chill out a little bit and be like, I did a pretty good job here. Let me teach you a couple tricks, kid. No, not he has to be a loser.
If only he'd done something legendary. Before The Force Awakens. Yeah, if only he'd done something really legendary, but would mean he could be a legend. No, it turns out dying of being tired on an island, delaying 100 or so people. No, that's legendary. Not defeating Darth Vader and the Emperor. That's not legendary. Getting tired and disappearing.
Also,
or destroying the Death Star.
Or destroy the Death Star, yes.
To imply he wasn't legendary before would be to fight the narrative of the trilogy anyway, because he's gained myth status anyway.
Yes. But he's not legendary because he drinks blue milk.
I like how I thought the Jedi were a myth. Well, then what were we doing at the fucking school for all those years?
Yeah.
He was 23. What? Kylo Ren was 23. Nobody knows what the Jedi are, even though there's a new temple. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan.
There was a full galactic government change of shit, and people can't remember it.
There's a guy going around with a fucking lightsaber, and people know who he is, and people don't know what the Jedi are. They think the Jedi are a myth, but they see a dude with swords that can fucking stop blaster bolts in midair, and he's like literally walking around being like, "I'm gonna be Darth Vader. I'm like Darth Vader."
This is like people in 1947 going, "What war? What are you on about?"
There's a guy,
Adolf who?
There's a guy running around, and his name is George Lincoln Rockwell, and he really wants to be Hitler, but I don't know what a Nazi is. Or no, I don't know what the Allied forces are from World War II. You know what I mean? That's like I'm exposed to George Lincoln Rockwell and the American neo-Nazis or whatever at that time period, but I don't know anything about World War II. That's the insanity that they're trying to pass off.
Take down AT-AT walkers and cutting off limbs while flipping. To me, that's not powerful. We've already kind of seen that stuff. It's like a video
shut up.
game.
I bet you think that Rey's powerful if she did that.
So wait, he's like, why he's showing us an image of Luke facing off with his actual green lightsaber against AT-AT walkers, but then he really liked the scene where Luke faced off against AT-AT walkers and was a literal invincible character.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Wouldn't it make more sense if Luke was actually going, all right, here's how you defeat the AT-AT walkers, and he's like giving commands to everybody. He's like, you got to hit the neck thing. He's like, and then somebody says like, Luke, that's a long time ago. I don't think that they're designed that way. And he's like, no, trust me. And then they go.
That would make so much sense because we actually see him being experienced facing these enemies. So, but
he's like, sorry to interrupt, but he's, you could totally see Mark Hamill with that ever optimistic attitude that he has, being somebody being like, I don't know how we can fight off these AT-AT walkers, and he's like, it's that exact same thing he says at the end of right before the battle in A New Hope, where he's like, "No, you don't understand. I used to do this on Hoth. I used to bullseye the neck armor with the rest of my squadron on Hoth, right?" Like, and people can be like, "I don't know about that. What we got these shitty, things," and he's like, "Trust your instincts," and he gives like some sort of like force thing to everybody. You can totally design the construct of this movie based on what you've seen before, without having to tear down the character.
Oh, here's
go ahead.
Here is Laparca. Is that it's a no. Laparca 1138. Okay, the Death Sticks guy had a better character arc than Luke and
the Death Sticks guy.
He went from selling drugs to rethinking his life.
The Death Stick guy is the guy is Mouse from The Matrix. Which I was like, he's in two great movies, Attack of the Clones and The Matrix.
Well, that's Elan Sleazebagano, yeah. What a great name!
I just
Do you want to buy some Death Sticks? No. Do you want to meet the woman in the red dress? Yes.
I just love the fact that these people always say, "Oh, it'd be ridiculous if we saw Luke doing all these flips and jumps and all this." Yet Rey doing the exact same stuff. They fucking come in their pants and
they also come at him doing him doing all those Matrix moves and spins. They love him. He's literally invincible projection doing Matrix moves, and they're like, what, you want him to be a fucking awesome superhero guy? He's immune to bullets and everything. Oh, what, you want him to be like some kind of super perfect, like, what are you talking about? That's what it is.
God,
I think
these guys are fucking insane.
We seem to enjoy Yoda in episode 2 when he was jumping around like crazy, even though it's kind of silly. But it was awesome.
Yeah. These people are insane.
Why wouldn't we want to see our amazing superhuman heroes do superhuman things that they're trained to do all their life?
Oh, because
Christopher Lee pretending to fight something.
Fat, lonely incels who try and defend Disney are like, well, I can't do that in real life, so my heroes have got to be exactly the same.
Imagine watching, was it Superman 2 or 3, where Superman's depressed, but that's the whole film, and he just doesn't do anything. He doesn't fly.
Jesus Christ.
I came to the Fortress of Solitude to die. Superman, I'm also super. I'm Supergirl. Can you teach me how to do No, I don't, Super, what is it? Where's he come from? Oh yeah, Krypton. Having a monopoly on space powers or whatever. It's hubris to say that or whatever. And then she like beats him up, and he's like, "All right, fine. I'll teach you how to laser eyes."
I'll give you 3 lessons: how to fly, how to laser eyes, and how to punch stuff. And he only teaches her how to laser eye stuff.
Only she never.
Darkseid is taking over the planet. Yeah, but who cares?
No, the third lesson is how to snap a neck.
Yeah, and then his father comes back after like 30 years of not talking to him and say, "Hey, son, what the freaking hell are you doing? You go out there and do something. That's why you're here." Okay.
Oh, well, what I'll do is I'll project myself.
The sacred Krypton text!
I'll project myself in front of it. And he's like moving really fast, and the people are like, "Oh, Superman's back." He's like, "No, it was all imagination," and he like disappears.
Hey, Spider-Man, I'm Miles Morales. Can you teach me how to be Spider-Man? Oh no, I'm so depressed. Remember how they actually kind of do that in the end of the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
And then imagine if he just didn't, and he was just like a mopey bitch the whole time, and then at the end, Uncle Ben, like Force Ghost Uncle Ben, came up and was like,
and then gave him some dice. Responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And then gave him some dice.
Yes.
The sacred Spider-Man text.
Gave some dice because Uncle Ben gave like the text message that some girl from before Aunt May gave him or something.
Yeah, it's like the fuzzy dice that were on his fucking lowrider from 1952 or whatever.
Yeah.
He gives him Iron Man's glasses. He's like, what the fuck?
Fuck many girls in the back of car, did I?
The 70s were a different time, Peter.
Your past,
well, you should always get yourself tested.
The bad, rising above it, choosing action over apathy. I think that's power, and that's the Luke Skywalker that I saw in the sequel trilogy.
Wait, hang on. You wanted action over apathy, but you didn't want to see him jump around and do stuff.
Yeah, let me just rewind that.
You were perfectly fine with him doing nothing. That's apathy.
Let me hear that one more time.
It's like a video game, embracing your past entirely, the good and the bad, rising above it, choosing action over apathy. I think that's power, and that's the Luke Skywalker that I saw in the sequel trilogy.
So if that's the character, the character that he always was, then him not being that character means he's out of character.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, so no, his whole argument is in the trash now.
Yeah, well, it was in the trash in the second, man. There's not more. But he literally went.
Now he's in the Sarlacc pit.
Was it action over apathy? And then has literally told us why Luke being apathetic this entire film was great. And now he's saying actions.
I like this idea about taking hero characters and then just aging them 30 years and then just applying this same formula. You know what I mean? Like. Sherlock, we need you to solve this mystery. No. Saying that detectives have a monopoly on figuring shit out is hubris. No, Watson is dead. Yeah, well, I'm just. Yeah, we're not gonna have a scene of him mourning Watson. And then the ghost of the hound. The ghost of the Hound of the Baskervilles comes back. Oh, woof, woof. Sherlock, you got to do it. Woof.
No, you just see Moriarty come back and go, bro, seriously, come on. And that's it.
Convince you to love this characterization of Luke, or even love the movie. Hate it if you hate it, love it if you love it, whatever. But the criticisms I do hear have very good.
Oh, don't start with that.
And as far as I'm concerned,
do one thing or do another or something fucking argument. I've seen too many of those just recently. Do A or do B.
Again, AT-AT chat is the AT-AT chat is the pretentious type where it's like, I'm out here to change minds and make the internet a better place. I may be stating that this is factually great, but you're factually wrong. But you're fine to believe whatever you want.
I used to think he was just an idiot. Now I think he's retarded. That's the
Captain Planet. Captain Planet, they're dumping radioactive waste into the blue lagoon that's so beautiful. Nah, you know what? Saying that the Planeteers have a monopoly on saving the planet is here.
Jesus, Clint, you could just like write a whole fucking list.
I know, it's great. I keep thinking up new ones, and it's so delicious.
It's just
Tony Hawk, we need you to do a 900. Nah, saying that Birdhouse Skateboards has a.
And as far as I'm concerned, these criticisms are actually just unmet expectations based off of 2 years of watching theory videos.
No, it's not. You fucking straw manner. That's all that it is. You fucking
theory.
This entire video was your fucking headcanon, which was just your theory of things. Shut the fuck up. You didn't provide any
Do
facts.
we have any
But
theory
He's
videos?
consciously ignoring all the critics of his past videos.
Who has done
It's just a
theory
huge
video?
dismissal. That's all people like him know how to do. They can't actually attack the criticisms head on, so they just dismiss it as, it's just because they didn't like what happened. It's not because it's horribly written.
All I know is the CIA invented objectivity to destroy the American art industry.
What?
And
uncompetitive.
I look forward to seeing your comments down below. Please keep it civil. That's all that I ask. May the force be with you. And
May the
have a
force
nice
be
time.
with you.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Captain Kirk, we need you to save the fucking Federation. No, saying Starfleet has a monopoly on defending the Federation is
on exploration.
On exploration, yeah.
Beam me up, Scotty.
And then all of a sudden, fucking Worf comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, just Worf.
Worf beats him up.
I hate
Who the hell are you?
They killed my boy.
Yeah.
Michael Burnham just shows up. She's like, Kirk, teach me how to fuck green women.
Oh no.
Michael Burnham goes back in time and teaches Kirk how to be a Starfleet captain.
Oh.
No, she actually teaches Spock.
Yeah, she actually does, doesn't she?
Wait, what?
Isn't that literally the canon
The
now?
reason why Spock is the way he is in the original series is only because of Michael Burnham, and they explicitly say that in the show. It's hilarious.
What?
You gotta be kidding me.
Wait a second.
No,
I'm not kidding.
No.
I am being 100% truthful.
We're talking about Spock in the original series universe, not their universe Spock.
No. This is the original.
Discovery is
before
TOS.
the time split.
No.
So it's set in
can't
both continuities. No, it is. It's before the two timelines split.
What? Wait, no, that's not possible. There's two timelines.
Wait, no, it can't be then.
No,
it's before the
it is.
California.
It's right.
So
The
there's a point.
timeline split
There's a
before Kirk was born.
yeah, but Kirk hasn't been born yet.
What, 10 years before the original series? Kirk
All right,
hasn't been
anyway,
born yet.
Yeah,
I gotta round out this stream right now. So we'll talk about Star Trek some other time.
Right. Anyway, thanks, guys. This was AT-AT Chat, and now you're familiar with some of his ideas. We tend to avoid him, but I think it's our last one on the docket. But I don't know what he's done lately, unless you guys recommend his stuff or other stuff like it. We're happy to cover it. This has been a big topic we've covered so often for months and months, so we know it like the back of our hand. And we're always happy to get new guys on to talk about it because you have new insight that we don't. Always appreciate your ideas, guys. We always want new people to come on and talk about them. So thanks a lot, everyone, for coming on here. Always nice to have you. So anything you guys want to announce about either your channels or stuff that going on in your life is going on, like Christmas or family gatherings, anything?
I'm trying to make videos, but my university work that I've nearly finished has been getting in the way, but I will be hopefully making some soon. There you go. My channel's in the description.
Thank you, Shiny. I know Voice has been having some technical difficulties today, but I'm sure that
I have, yes.
Okay.
Yes. My internet dropped down. Yes, I have.
All right.
My internet dropped down earlier. I have been doing some streaming with a wonderful group of people, Shiny included. We're just chatting, talking whatever we fancy, and watching me fail to do a blind run of a Pokemon game that I've never played before because I don't like Pokemon.
That's a lie. I'm not a wonderful person.
No, I didn't say that.
You said wonderful people, and they said I was on there.
You lied.
He went Shiny. He went Shiny, and then some other wonderful people. Yeah, he was separating you out.
Exactly. Technical difficulties. The last stream we did, which was only a couple hours ago, cut off short. But I hope to do another one on Friday. And in the meantime, I'm just creating videos and trying not to get despondent about how shit everything is.
Oh, jeez. Well, that's
so join me.
Yeah, thanks for
join me, Voice in the Radio, at Avoiding Depression.
Yeah.
Join me.
All right, Crazy Philosopher, Glib, that was Mark, Sarcastic Hawk, Shiny, and Voice. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and being with me.
I'm almost done with my video. It's coming.
Oh yeah!
Oh, wow,
it's coming. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be long, J-long bonus.
Okay.
And I'd just like to advertise Voice on the Radio's channel. Subscribe to Voice on the Radio.
Yes.
It's this new channel you probably haven't heard of. And perhaps Shiny, if he has a channel. I'm not sure if he has a channel. I've never watched it. No, I'm just kidding.
Subscribe to Smudboy.
No, unsubscribe to Smudboy and subscribe to AT-Chan.
Oh God, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you? I mean,
Why knows a lot about analytical reviews.
And Trump steaks are delicious. That's all I have to say.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Thanks everyone in the chat, all the super chats, always appreciate it.